focus on the 5 that went bad. So then he hired the psychologist to work
get
through
that
with
out
him.
of his head.
He should have had the psychologist throw out the pitch.
But what you're telling me, Artie, is Gary doesn't know how to throw. He should have had the psychologist.
He doesn't. I'm telling you, I could tell. I played baseball for a long time.
Right.
And I played like hardball. I played in a fast pitch league for a while. And I know what it's like. You play catch with a guy, you could tell, okay, this guy knows how to throw a ball.
Right.
And I'm telling you, if I played catch with Gary, I could have told him, don't do it, man.
Was Gary's worse than Chris Rock?
Yes. I think it was the worst pitch in the history. I mean, the Met players and fans, everybody around in the suite. I mean, the autistic kids were going, "Wow!" Sebastian Bach was there.
Yeah.
First of all, the Sebastian Bach had the line of the day.
What did he say?
Sebastian Bach sang 3 songs before the game, and no one was listening to him.
Right.
Although I thought he sounded pretty good.
Right.
And afterwards, we see him, and he's like one of those, dude, what's up?
Yeah, he's a heavy metal guy.
Yeah, right, heavy metal guy.
Yeah.
The lead singer of Skid Row in the 80s. But
Yeah.
he goes, all I know is Gary threw worse than I sang.
That's the ultimate insult.
Thank God for Gary is what he's saying.
There was
He threw worse than I sang.
we all took a picture.
Do you know the Daily News? I mean, for the Daily News newspaper to say,
comment even on a picture.
I mean, to say it's the single most embarrassing moment in the history of first pitches.
Yeah.
In the history of the Mets, you know
what
how
is
many
that,
embarrassing moments the Mets have?
Oh, here it is.
Worse.
Gary Dell'Abate, we all know him as Baba Booey from the Howard Stern Show, delivered what has to be the most embarrassing ceremonial first pitch in baseball history Saturday. He had been talking for weeks on the Stern Show about doing this, and Saturday he finally got his shot. The video is below, pretty bad. He may actually be better than Perez and Green combined. If you look closely, you can see Stern sidekick Artie laying a Met hater to the far left during the pitch. In all seriousness, Dell'Abate, a Mets fan, was at Citi Field, the Celebrity Gifts for Autism Awareness Day, which is a great cause, one that's dear to my heart. Good job, Gary, on that. But
but don't pitch.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to remember why he was there.
That was from the Daily News, Howard?
Daily News.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, let me check that.
You see,
Yeah, Daily News.
I love.
Seriously, I think I'm absolutely sure I could do better.
Well, actually, Ralph, after that pitch, you should worry about your job. I think Gary should be picking out Howard's clothes.
I mean, what was that? What? I mean,
Howard,
first of all, so in other words, what I'm learning is Gary doesn't know he can't throw.
Yeah, and a lot of people. But you know how everyone thinks they're funny?
Right.
You know what I mean? My buddy's the funniest guy, and then you meet him and you want to punch him in the face.
Right.
There's a ton of guys who think they can throw and they think they're athletes.
Artie, listen. He didn't even come close to the plate.
I understand, Ralph, but I'm sure Gary could at one time in his life throw. I'm sure he remembers being in the 8th grade, throwing the ball and being good. But
Artie,
Gary's had such a different life than playing
Artie,
ball for so long.
Talking about throw like he's a pitcher, he's a sportsman or something.
You can forget to throw?
Yeah,
I think you can, sure.
You get to hit the guy you're throwing at.
Well, I mean,
Maybe Gary thought the umpire was the catcher. Gary, the single worst. Do you think yours was worse than Chris Rock even?
Gary.
No, okay, so mine wasn't worse than Chris Rock because mine stayed in the frame. You know, Chris Rock went out. And by the way, I would love to have Chris Rock's publicist because you can't find a video of that anywhere.
Is that true?
You can, Howard. I searched high and low on the internet. They must have had it scrubbed.
It's not on YouTube?
Nope, not on YouTube. Nowhere.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Seriously, if somebody's got it.
You were freaking out, too. You said to me, I don't understand how they're showing this on TV over. And they never showed the first pitch, and yet they were showing it everywhere. In fact, here, wait, let me play these for you.
It's the most
like, let's say, it
dribbled or something.
Or maybe
at
it didn't even reach
feet.
home plate.
Yeah.
At least this was his worst nightmare. I mean, it couldn't have been worse than
It
that.
was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
That ball is somewhere on the moon right now.
It's like the greatest episode of Seinfeld
it looks
ever.
like an air ball.
Do they give you the ball afterwards?
Oh, yeah, I have it.
Oh, did you throw it out?
No, it's at my house.
I mean, you don't want to be reminded.
The ball is defective.
Why would you keep that?
You know what,
Gary?
Gary?
Throw
No,
it in the garbage.
You should keep it and have have Lance Bass sign it or something.
Yeah, that's funny.
Like have
every
all of
gay
it,
guy.
all of NSYNC sign it.
No, have it analyzed.
Good bitch, Joey Fatone.
Poor Gary. Gary's standing here while Artie and I are laughing. Robin's laughing.
But you know what?
And you don't even know what to do with
I
this.
mean, this is,
You expected this.
Expected.
Can I just say, for people who haven't seen it, with the camera, when the camera's on it, he throws it off camera.
No, I know.
Hook Nose Mike is on the air. I haven't spoken to him in a while. Hook Nose, hi.
Morning, Howard. You Hook Nose, you bastard. Listen, Gary, you have to let Howard set it up again. You got to redeem yourself.
I think in a way you do.
You do.
Yeah, good. That's good advice, Hook Nose.
No, but Gary really needs to go out there and throw the pitch.
Listen,
You
properly.
need to get this one behind you.
Garrett, do me a favor. Can we play catch one day?
Yeah.
And and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to say if Gary should do it again. I'm going to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
But
Hey,
based
Howard,
on what you saw,
Howard film Artie having a catch for
yeah,
Gary,
we'll
too.
film it. But Artie, based on what you saw,
Right.
I mean, Gary gives you this thing. He was winding up, but also doing something else. 10 different throws.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, he can't throw, and he doesn't know it. And he's one of those guys, like you say, who thinks they're funny, and they're not.
Right.
And you saw absolutely no indication that he can throw.
Major League pitchers are calling Gary and saying it was the worst thing they've ever seen. I mean,
The guy from the Daily News
the
is
owner of
saying
the
it.
Mets, the Daily News.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
My
you know what,
father-
Gary really is
My
the
father
best.
hasn't called me in 10 years.
Hello,
My
Howard.
father goes,
what?
my father's like, did you see that pitch? I go, yeah, Dad. He goes, what kind of pitch was that? He goes, well, it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
We
and
got to
guys-
call my dad.
Guys get angry about that because I get off the plane yesterday and the guy who meets me at the plane says, Gary sucks.
Well, Gary is a guy's guy. Like
You know
Gary
what?
knows sports. You can talk to sports, so you think it's going to be better.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This is a disaster.
How do I leave the house? Ralph, at the end of the day, it's hugely embarrassing. I still produce a major radio show.
He lives
that
in
has nothing to do with
Connecticut. There's
throwing a
all
ball.
fruits up there.
Gary, all that considered, you can't throw a ball.
Okay, fine. You can't get a job.
Yeah, I have a job.
No, you don't.
And I can throw a ball better than you.
That I would like to see.
That I promise you. I'll bet you $1,000 I could throw a ball better than you.
I'll tell you what, Ralph, because you're such a big mouth.
Yeah.
Why don't you go and throw out the first pitch at City Field?
Sure, why not?
But, I mean,
I'm sure
because
I could do better
Because
than
they're not
you.
looking for him.
No, but I'm saying, he thinks he could throw it better, but
Gary,
but he doesn't care about the
probably
pressure because he's
could.
half
Gary,
a fag anyway.
But Gary,
Do I have to
he
wear a
probably
little
can
jersey
throw
like
it better because he's good. Anyone can outdo that pitch, probably.
Well, not anyone.
I like the chick who goes, and Gary Baba blew it.
Yeah, oh my God!
I like when they call him Gary Delabonte.
I know, but they all get Baba Booey correct.
Yeah, that they get.
First of all,
blew it.
if you put it on a scale,
When a chick says he Baba.
Yeah.
yeah, Chris Rock grew up, I think, in a project in Bed-Stuy.
Right.
He probably never played
There
Little
wasn't
League.
a field anywhere near him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Like
his father probably left him at an early age.
I
or
don't
something.
know
No,
if
he's
Rock.
from his father was there.
Oh, really?
But
Black guy and his father was there? Okay.
according to the show, everyone hates Chris. He's got a dad. I don't know, but he grew up in Bed-Stuy. I know, so there's he probably didn't spend a lot of time playing ball.
Yeah.
So you gotta give Rock that a little bit. Gary actually played. Gary's is probably worse than Chris is on
But,
that level.
I mean, all the preparation.
Right.
Yeah. Doug Goodstein from Howard TV.
We have multiple angles of this, so we just analyzed a side angle of Gary, and in mid-pitch, you'll see he licks his lips, too.
By the way, how do you have multiple angles of this? Because you were allowed to shoot this,
we're
right?
doing a real licensing deal with Major League Baseball.
Yeah, Doug sends
not like
before you
the
roll
stolen
that,
footage.
Yeah, Doug sends me a note this morning. Tell everyone not to watch YouTube. To only watch it on Howard TV because we have a licensed agreement with the Major League Baseball.
It's just
And
frustrating.
I'm sitting there laughing. Yeah, okay, Doug.
Yeah, everybody's going to say, oh, Evan,
It's so
I'm going to
frustrating. I
watch
spent
you.
hours making a deal with Major League Baseball on Friday, and then
Yeah, but you got the multiple angles and stuff. Everyone will tune into Howard TV.
Doug, Howard's a powerful guy, but I don't think in this day and age
I know,
he's
I
gonna
know.
get no one to watch YouTube.
I know, but Howard says
No
the
one
same
watch
frustration.
YouTube.
I didn't say that. I said
I'm
if you're
not
going to promote
watching
it, promote Howard TV, not YouTube, where it's illegal.
Well, because no one's going to wait for Howard TV.
Right.
They're going to watch it on YouTube, but you're going to have a funny multiple angle
and then
thing.
after this, there's also a shot when Gary ran out. He did something weird too. I don't even know if
I
you
just jumped
remember
over the line.
Yeah, he did like a weird hop over the line.
All right, so here's Gary from another angle. Artie, watch carefully. You're our expert. Go ahead. Here we go. Look, where did he go wrong? Ooh.
Right there.
Yeah. See, even I know, and I'm not an expert.
Oh,
But
look
you
at
don't-
his face. Oh.
It looks
Wait.
like he was aiming for the stands.
There's a beaten
You
man.
look like a beaten man.
Are any Met players laughing in the background?
Well, that's another thing. So I got a buddy who works for Rawlings, and he knows all the players. So the whole time he's emailing me like, "Good luck with the pitch. How did it go?" And he sent me back a note. This is probably the most stinging one of all. I got reports from all the players. It's worse than you imagine.
Oh my God!
So that means like the players are like now it's like the inside joke of the clubhouse.
Yeah.
I know how much this matters to Gary.
And it would
That's what
matter to me too, Gary.
Yeah.
I mean, what I would say in my head was just don't look like a chick.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just
Throw it
I
well.
would throw it as hard as I could, and if it went wild, I would go, look, a lot of major league pitchers throw wild too.
Absolutely.
But just don't look like a broad. I don't know. You know, it's a lot of pressure.
Artie, be honest. You wouldn't have thrown a ball like that.
No, of course he would.
It's physically impossible.
Here's that little
you
hop.
couldn't look like that.
I don't think so.
Here's the Gary hop.
Well, that's superstition. That's
A lot of players do that.
managers do that.
He
too.
should have stepped all over that line.
Yeah,
Well-
I don't know why you cared about superstition.
And you know, I just want to point out one thing. Not that it matters much, but I didn't hire a sports psychiatrist. The guy, Fred, the guy emailed Fred and
whatever.
that I called, but I didn't hire him. I didn't pay him.
You met with him though.
No. He gave me his phone number, and I talked to him on the way home one day.
Yeah.
Yay.
He was
Howard-
a big help.
How are you a little league coach? Do you teach the kids how to throw?
Oh my God! How can he go back?
Well,
Yeah,
Little League
you
chicks
do?
play.
Well,
Little
no,
League.
by the time I get them, they know how to throw. So I'm not teaching them how to throw. I'm teaching them where to throw. Listen, I pitch batting practice. I'm telling you, I can do better than that.
Right.
batting practice.
You know what's the greatest
Batting
thing?
practice for who?
For the guys in the dugout?
What is that, Ralph?
Gary has like a jersey, like a baseball jersey on too.
Yeah,
No, it's a T-shirt, Ralph.
They gave him a Met shirt that said Baba Boo. Why number 9, by the way?
You know, I don't know. The guy handed it to me. I have no idea what the number meant.
So Gary, someone told me that your attitude with this pitch is that you're going to embrace it fully and just start living like a woman. You're going to start.
Really? Who told you that?
That's what someone told me. Like you're going to get you the
I'm gonna put on a dress.
operation.
Changing
stuff.
his name.
Yeah.
That's who you should get to sign the ball, Siobhan.
Dominic, you're on the air.
Well, two things. First thing, I had to go to criminal court Sunday morning. A businessman got into a fight with his girlfriend, beat her up. I go all the way in the back where everyone's locked up and all these people are in there. And I go up to my client, and here he is, never in trouble in his life. He says, first thing he says to me is, "Did you see that pitch?"
Is that true?
Is there any chance that that's true,
There's
Howard?
no way that's true.
Dominic is so...
Guys in jail.
Can I tell you, walking in the streets, people are yelling it out?
To you?
Just yelling it out, of course. It's incredible. It's
No.
The pitch heard round the world.
All right. Thank you, Dominic.
To be yelling, why don't you get married for a 5th time?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure which is more
You're
embarrassing.
dating your ex-wife.
Speaking of Dominic, Gary would have done better if he just ran up to the umpire and hit him with a plate of pasta.
Wolfie, go ahead.
Hey, Howard. I'm not one to usually be negative, but I've seen better arms on a snake. It reminded you of a little kid. They just wind up and throw, and they're 2 feet away from you, and the ball just completely jumps to the side. And I was actually rooting for the guy because his kids were there.
You know what did Gary in? I'll tell you what did Gary in, Wolfie. The pitch itself was not televised originally. You went out and did the first pitch. They don't televise that.
Well, they wouldn't televise this one either.
Right. What
But
happened
the pitch
was
in general is not televised.
you were interviewed during the game, and that's what did you in. They did the replay.
That's what I'm saying.
And that was in the body.
That's when it was taken out of the Howard Stern universe and brought to the whole world. That's what did me in.
Brett, go ahead. You're on the air.
Hey, Gary. I just want to know which is more embarrassing to look at, your pitch or your boo-hoo, I miss you video.
Oh, the love video. Oh. Which is worse to you in terms of, like, the show and taking abuse?
So it's hard to tell. This one's too new.
Right.
Like,
This
I
one feels
need a couple of weeks to go by, but I guess they're probably pretty equal.
By a mile.
Ralph, I was just talking.
This is really embarrassing, Gary.
The only thing that sucks about this for Gary is he can't sell you the video.
That's right.
You have it already.
Yeah.
A freebie.
Yeah, that love video was pretty bad, but so
this is way worse.
Gary says the pitch is worse. I would think the love video would be worse.
I said I haven't decided yet.
How did you do? You did interviews after that? Like, how did you just not run out of there?
Because I had an obligation to the Autism Society, et cetera, et cetera.
Since the pitch, have you had sex with Mary yet? I bet you haven't even had sex.
No, but that's not any.
Don't you feel like less?
Anything? Like, I mean, if it was a strike, I don't think we would have had sex.
You can't possibly get it out to a woman after that.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's right, Ralph. I can't. Ralph is so astute.
Let's go to Mr. Warmth. Hi.
I want to thank Gary as a member of the Stern Fan Network for giving us a wonderful weekend. Thank you, Gary.
Did you have a big weekend of comedy, Mr. Warmth?
Oh, yes. The comedy gods were smiling now.
I have a feeling like most of the people in the stands probably thought Gary was an autistic kid.
Yeah.
And he would have gotten away with it. Like they were like, hey, that's a pretty good pitch for an autistic kid.
Let's hear it for Skippy.
Yeah. But then I think once they went on TV and outed him as Gary from the Howard Stern
He's
Show.
not autistic?
Let's hear it for Belinda Carlisle.
That'd be funny if he'd gone out dressed up in a dress the next time. Like if they let him go out again.
Throwing out the first pitch and talking about it later on her Twitter, Paris Hilton.
So, Artie, I got a question for you.
You doubled over with laughter on the field.
Howard, I mean...
You turned away.
Listen,
you were so embarrassed
It was
for him.
such a great New York moment. New Yorkers are so brutally honest.
You doubled over with laughter where you had to hold on to, I saw a railing.
I held on to the back thing.
You almost fell over.
Yeah. I had been to the gym. I was weak.
Well, Gary, I don't know.
I don't even know if you saw it the first time hit the umpire. You were so funny. Oh, my God.
It really was one of the... Listen, I was at the game where Reggie Jackson hit the 3 homers.
There he goes. Oh, there's Gary doubled over. I mean, there's Artie doubled over.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And Charlie talking to me. And all those guys, by the way, all those guys in the yellow shirts, they're all security guys, ex-cops who work security there. They all had the same opinion of the pitch, pretty much. Charlie had.
So how do you go on living with this? I mean, what's your plan? I mean,
time goes by,
This too shall pass.
Was your weekend the worst weekend ever?
See, the funny thing was my weekend was the worst weekend for me. I mean, I had to go out yesterday. My kids both had flag football games, and only one person said anything to me. Most people hadn't seen it, or if they did, they didn't say anything to me.
They were too embarrassed.
So I said, like, when we got up, Mary goes, again, is this going to be the whole day? I said, Mary, we're going to a field of thousands of fathers. I go, that's all they're going to talk about.
Right.
And so the best part was,
God.
we're standing there, and she goes, see, nobody's talking about it. And then one of the dads I know who actually runs the Major League Baseball network comes over and he goes, like, not even like, hey, he goes, what was that? He's like, what was that?
Oh, did Mary hear that?
And I go, see? And she goes, one guy. And it was one guy yesterday.
Right.
Then my in-laws came over, and my father-in-law like sort of heard about it. And he's like, can we see it? And I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a lot of that.
Right.
And then I'll tell you what. Saturday night, I went to bed, and I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning sweating and just replaying the pitch in my head all over again and thinking about this morning, even though this is, about what I expected, but, you still think about it.
So you woke up and the first thing you thought about was the pitch. And like how... Like,
it was like literally in my head, you just replayed over, like, why did I throw it like that? Why didn't I just do what I was going to do?
Like Scott Norwood.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
What were you going to do?
Well, again, I practiced like a wind-up in a real pitch, throwing really hard. And then I just wasn't confident in that. And then I just thought I'd throw it as a throw, and I can't explain it.
It's just such a look of defeat,
Were the garage guys heckling you this morning? Because that's what I heard.
No. The guy in the garage is. Yeah. I got to tell you,
nice pitch, maricon.
What did the guy do?
No. John, who runs the garage there, who doesn't have a Spanish accent. John, I've always thought John should be on the show.
No.
I mean, he didn't say anything. He just made a joke about it, but he would, he would never let anybody off the hook for anything.
Of course
So, like,
not.
that was the first thing. Driving in, I go, I wonder what John has to say.
Right.
And then he actually didn't say much. He's just like, I think he said something like, I missed the plate, huh?
Yeah.
I wondered how you were going to set this up today. It's so perfect that your father called you.
Oh,
like, that was
God.
a perfect way for this to
Hello,
start.
Howard.
Oh, but it was unbelievable. But here's the question. Will this go away eventually, or is this one of those things that's just always going to be very, very prevalent on the show?
Always going to be very prevalent on the show.
All right.
Howard, do you realize that for everyone from now on who's going to throw out the first pitch, people's advice is going to be, look, whatever you do, don't delabate that pitch.
So I think that's what I told.
Delabate will become a word.
But that's what I told Mary.
It'll be
That's
a verb.
When Mary and I were arguing about this, and she's like, "Oh, get over it." I go, "You don't understand. I have now become like a benchmark."
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's like, "Whatever. You guys are such guys."
Jeff the Drunk, you have the last word.
Gary,
Oh, boy.
Yes, Jeff.
I just want to say I'm very, very sorry to hear. But I didn't expect nothing less of you.
I was watching it from my house that happens to be a Volkswagen bus. And I was embarrassed for Gary while I was waiting for my shipment of government cheese and weed.
You could throw better with your bad arm, can't you?
I could throw better with no arm. I could have thrown better with my ass.
Gary, where'd this pitch all go wrong?
When I said I would do it. It's just right from the beginning. Right from the beginning, I started, talking myself out of it, and now it's there forever. It's the worst thing that I could have ever imagined. I really don't throw like that. I'll go. Maybe we'll go out for the special, and I'll go and throw a couple of pitches, and you'll see that I don't throw like that.
Now, what was going through your head when you were on the mound?
It was like an out of body. Like my legs were like rubber, my arms were like numb. The last thing I remember was John Maine threw the rosin bag down, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I thought to myself, like, even that wasn't good, because I'd rather have somebody I didn't know than somebody I know right there. And then I held the ball, I gripped it the way I wanted to grip it, like over the seams. And he said, "It's your pitch," and I threw it, and I just didn't have faith in myself.
No, what went wrong with the pitch? Did you think you let it go too early?
Yeah, let it go too early. And I let it go too early, and I didn't throw it with full force. I sort of let it go halfway through the pitch.
Now, is there any chance you're going to do this again?
No, I'm done.
Your pitching days are over?
Yeah, they're done.
Hey, by the way, I said to Casey, remember Casey who used to work for us?
Yeah.
And had to leave.
Well, he had pressing things out in California. That he had to get to.
Casey calls up almost every couple of days and says, "Hey, can I promote something?"
Really?
And I was thinking about Casey. He's got something new he's promoting. But I was thinking about all the things he's been promoting. And I was going to ask him what happened to all of them.
Yeah, because he's always got a new venture.
He's like Ralph Cramden.
Yeah. What's the latest?
I wonder if any of these things ever took off.
Remember he was going to go to Brazil and become some big
kickboxing
announcer or something?
Yeah, what happened to that?
Yeah, that one didn't really pan out. The league got disbanded, and I think some people got arrested. But that was.
Did they get arrested?
I think so, but that was a fluke.
And then what about you were going to be a big star on a TV show for the phone?
Oh no, I was.
Really?
Here, wait. I'll read them to you in case he can comment on each of his ventures. All right, here we go. In August of 2008, I'll go in the most recent ones.
All right.
Casey called in to promote a debt consolidation program called Envision Debt Solutions. What happened to that?
I'm not really still in debt, but they helped me, work out a couple things. But they help a lot of people. I find it.
But you're not with them anymore, right?
No, I did my thing. My problems are higher up, like the IRS.
Okay.
Oh dear. So in other words, you were just getting some debt help from them when you were promoting them.
Okay.
No, totally. I mean, there's some things that nobody can help with.
In January 2008, Casey called in to promote Rio Heroes, a website that broadcast bare-knuckle fighting from Brazil. Casey was supposed to announce the fights, but the website was shut down. During the same phone call, Casey was looking for girls to enter his comedy and beauty pageant show.
Oh, there was a comedy and beauty pageant. I forgot about that.
What happened to both of those things?
Well, it turns out that it's illegal to have people, fight each other like cockfighting.
Right.
You can't do that. Even if it's in another country, you can't broadcast it. So people see it in this country.
So where are all the guys? Are you in touch with all the guys who were in business with you on that?
No, not at all.
No.
I think they went away.
In January 2007, Casey called in to promote his online cell phone show.
Yes, that's the one.
Where I don't know what he was doing.
He had a show on the phone.
It was called Swing Shift, his show.
Yeah, see, that phone company went under. No, but I thought you were talking about my internet show, which actually...
Well, let me see if I get to that. Let's see.
Oh, sorry.
In July 2007, KC called in to promote a DVD he helped produce with Miss Howard Stern called Girls and Guns 4, Snowing in Miami. What happened to that? Did that ever make any money?
No, it sold 8 copies.
Wow.
8 copies.
That has to be a record.
Yeah, but that wasn't what they hired me for. They hired me to watch this Howard Stern.
Right, but you were promoting it.
Yeah, I did promote it. That's true.
In October 2006, KC called in to promote his favorite pasta sauce, Son of a Gun pasta sauce.
Oh, I didn't even remember that.
What happened to that?
Let me tell you something. That is the best sauce I've ever had in my life. And I asked Johnny the other day. I said, "What's going on with the sauce?" And he said, he doesn't have it anymore. The recipe, they gave it to somebody. I don't know, but that I wish he still had it because that was awesome.
Casey was also selling a laptop computer when he called in. I don't even know if I get that.
I think it was his laptop.
Oh my God, that's horrible. I really did that.
Casey once called in to recruit girls to be Beverly Hills Angels. I think that
What's that?
I think that was that calendar that Johnny Fratto had.
Yeah, that was great. That was during my single days. That was good. I wouldn't I wouldn't hire them. I just try and fuck them. That's all.
Did the calendar ever come out?
No.
I don't think there's one successful venture in here. At one point, Casey was also working as a bodyguard for escorts. What happened to that?
Yeah, that landed me in jail.
Oh my God!
But
why?
Because that's illegal. Actually, what they caught me on, Howard, they caught me on stuff with my license. It wasn't the fact that I was waiting to beat the shit out of some guy. It was because my license was bad. Right. So it was a driver's license thing. Yeah. Right.
But they throw you in jail when you don't have a driver's license?
No. It's had what do they call it? It had warrants.
Oh.
Wow.
And they
you had warrants?
Yeah, I had warrants. And the guy, he let me go the first time. He was really cool. But then later on the same night, he pulled me over again. And he said I couldn't drive the first time. He made the girl drive, who was taking what the hell are those things that these broads take? Xanax.
Oh.
Like a million Xanax. She couldn't drive. She almost fell out of the car. But she should drive and not me.
Well, how do you think it's going for Casey since he had to leave our show?
This West Coast run has been a good one.
Yeah. And then I remember the time he posed nude for a gay French photographer or German photographer.
German.
I wasn't nude. I had underwears on.
Yeah, because he was going to become a pinup guy.
Right.
That was another venture.
No, but that one went really well. I mean, all those posters that sold. Do you know who bought those posters?
Yeah, gay guys.
Yeah, exactly, gay guys. There was like 90% of those. I saw all the names of people who bought them, and they were all gay guys.
Wait a minute. Casey was surprised that gay guys bought the poster, Howard.
Although I got to say, here's a fact. Richard Christie bought 2 of those posters of Casey.
No shit.
Yeah.
Point taken.
I kind of paved the way for Richard and Sal.
He sure did.
Yeah, in my gayness, I spawned 2 other fags.
Casey also auditioned for a bunch of soap operas. I remember that that was for a while. What were the soap operas?
Oh no, I was on those, man. I was on Guiding Light and As the World Turns.
Was he?
Yeah, but it was always like he was standing there as an officer or something.
No,
yeah,
Officer Casey. Then Casey tried out for a football team. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He was going to be a kicker or something on the football team. What team was that?
No, that was Stuttering John. That wasn't me.
No, that was you. You were thinking of, like, at one point...
You went to some body's training camp?
Yeah. You were going to go back into football.
Oh, and I wanted to get back into football.
Yeah.
But no, that was John who thought he could...
No.
I got mad at him.
I know what you're talking about, but you too.
Yeah, I was, it was one of 2 things I wanted in my life. This is back when I had hope. It was either to work for you, Howard, or to play football.
Well, you blew both of those.
Right.
I know, really.
So now you are completely without hope.
He played football and he lost out. He was working for me and he blew that.
Yeah. Jesus, when you look back on this, it's like everybody looks back on their life and they like to have some things to say, oh yeah, I did that. I'm listening back to these things and you bring these up, I'm like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is wrong with me? What have I done?
It's an amazing...
You mean you weren't keeping track?
It's an amazing body of work. You know what Casey's curse is? He's a very good-looking guy.
It gets in the way.
And it gets in the way and from just like settling down and doing something where he can rise up and, work hard at it and...
Focus is very hard for him.
But his problem is because he's good looking, he gets like chicks to move in with him, and people give him stuff, and they give him opportunities.
Yeah, people will open their doors and let him move in.
Right.
I always thought it was my charm, but I guess not.
That's your looks.
You'll find out about your
girl.
You'll find out about your charm in about 12 years.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I find
See,
out
Casey's like in the movie Spread by
That's
Ashton
what I was
Kutcher
thinking,
that's coming
yes.
out.
I was saying that the other day.
Yeah.
He used to work here.
Yeah, I mean, he was the hot guy who, kind of can get a lot going, but
So he doesn't really apply himself to anything.
So what's your latest thing you're promoting?
Well, before I tell you, did you ever see The Wrestler?
Yeah.
Did you like that movie?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt a little bit like I don't even want to go into that thing. The other thing I wanted to ask you was about
Wait a minute, what is he comparing himself to the wrestler?
You felt like the wrestler?
Yeah, I kind of felt like the wrestler just because
because you're lost.
Yeah, basically the guy was a big loser. Yeah.
No,
But the guy had been at the height of his career.
Casey hasn't
he
even
had been
gotten
to the top.
The best days of his life were behind him.
Right.
You mean the song by Springsteen is sort of very poignant. Yeah, if you listen to it.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with KC? KC's never been at the top of anything.
Yeah, Casey, you were never you were never a champion to then lose everything.
Well, yeah, good job here.
In my own mind, I was.
Oh, you mean when you were here?
Yeah, I go kind of like when this is too depressing. I don't want to talk about it.
No, we want to talk about
You mean like when you were the high school football star and wrestler and then college and then...
Yeah, the thing is, like in college, like everybody still has hope, and they think that, you could be sitting next to the president. You don't even know that.
Right.
Then when you get out and you start doing things and people start getting their mundane life and their horrible life, and you realize that this is it. The best days are behind you,
See, but you would have found a good job if you weren't so good looking.
So he's one of those guys who's still celebrating his high school and college years as the best years of his life.
Because when you were in high school and you looked at Casey, you go, there's the guy who's going to go places.
Right. He was a star.
Right. All right, so what are you promoting now?
Well, I got this thing. I'm hooked up with these guys, and I'm with this company, right?
Yeah.
That anywhere in the country, if you got a house or an apartment or something like that, they will turn it into a 5-star hotel, like a 5-star hotel room.
You mean if I give these guys my house, they'll turn it into a hotel?
No.
That's what it sounded like.
Gee, thanks.
He's going to make my house a hotel?
You mean people will be moving into my house?
What do I do?
Where will I live?
No.
Am I working for them now?
They'll take like your house and they'll turn it into like a 5-star hotel like room. You know what I mean? Like down from the linens to the toothbrush, like furniture, everything.
Oh, in other words, you hire them, they come
like
in.
Decorators.
And they set up your house so it's like a 5-star hotel.
In less than 24 hours.
But
what?
But isn't a 5-star hotel, like, don't you need a lot of people to, like, service that?
Well, no, but they get it to look like that, and then it's up to you to keep it that way.
Right.
It's like a decorating service.
It's interior decoration. That's correct.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I got.
I always love how he doesn't even understand what he's trying to promote.
Yeah.
Look, I can't. I'm horrible with the language. Verbally, I have no communication skills at all. Ask my girlfriend; she'll tell you.
So similar to what I did with that man cave thing. They came in and for free they just turned it into the ultimate guy's room. This is the same thing, but with the ultimate 5-star hotel room. They'll make your right.
Well, give me an example. Like, in other words, like.
Yeah, because I'm with Howard. I want room service.
Right.
No, they don't do anything.
In fact, I've been to hotels. They're actually not that nice. It's the room service that's kick-ass. The actual room is kind of shitty.
Yeah.
That's extra. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like if you have like a summer house or something like that.
Right.
There was just an article in GQ magazine. They say broads want a guy with a nice place to live rather than a car. What do you think of that?
I agree.
Yeah, they do because they have this thing in them that they want. They want to be. What do they call it?
All right, listen, I think I get this business.
Why don't you write down what you want to say?
I think I understand the business. It's like, it's kind of cool. Like, it actually isn't a bad idea.
When he puts it that way, it makes sense. Like a guy who doesn't know what to do, he calls this service. They make his bedroom look like a 5-star hotel room, and then chicks are impressed.
All right, so
Why can't I say that? That's exactly what it is, and I'm retarded.
Casey, do you suspect that, like, in 2 months when you call back in with your new business, I'll ask you what happened to this business?
No, this one is good. They've been doing good business. And, hey, here's another one. Get paid with fitness. If you you know what? I'm not even going to explain this one. People who want to get fit and buy DVDs and stuff like that, you get on this thing and you'll make money doing it.
What?
Do you understand that at all?
No.
That's a new business?
Oh yeah, this is a good one though.
And if I want a DVD, I don't know what you.
What are you talking about?
You know what multi-level marketing is?
Oh, here we go again.
No. Just tell me what you're into.
That's getpaidwithfitness.com. And you can get that, too, if you go to thetowndick.com. That's my website. Train with Casey. Always looking for new clients.
Are you training people?
Yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
I made a girl cry the other day, so I lost her as a
Why'd you make her cry?
Well, she was being a box, you know. She wasn't doing anything, and I'm like, why do you...
KC, but she was paying you to train her, so just,
Your job is to motivate her.
Not to make her cry.
No, I didn't want to make her cry, but the thing was, I was just telling her to do stuff. I wasn't being mean or anything like that, but she wasn't doing anything. I'm like, why do you hire me to come work you out if you're going to sit here?
Let me give you a secret. 99% of the people who hire you to train them are fucking lazy, and they don't really want to do anything.
That's why they need a trainer.
So they're chicks who want to have a hot trainer. She wants to look at you.
They should do what they should.
Yeah, but she's not. If they could do anything, they'd be doing it.
But sometimes you need tough love. I know what Casey's saying. When I struck out when I was 12 and my father told me I was swinging like a cunt, I next time I tried harder.
Nah, this is whole psychology to training people.
Casey's not reading it right.
Yeah, but trust me, he's not reading people.
I don't think he's reading anything.
He's not even reading a book on
He's
health.
not reading books, newspapers, or people.
I saw Casey out in Vegas recently, though. He looks good. Casey looks good, man.
He knows how to train.
He knows how to train himself.
Casey invites those people who want to make money
on fitness.
Getpaidwithfitness.com. Go to getpaidwithfitness.com, and then if you want to train directly with KC, go to kc.com.
How many clients you got, Casey?
Oh, I got about 5 or 6 clients right now. Always looking for more. It's trainwithkc.com, and I got a fitness video coming out with my lovely girlfriend, and that's going to be. I'm going to be a millionaire.
And are you going to? If people buy it, are you actually going to send them the DVD? That wasn't my fault. Remember that business?
Yes, I remember the Casey video
business.
business.
Had a comedy DVD, and no one could get it.
Yeah, but that wasn't my fault,
right.
and
never is.
Are you with the right people now?
Yeah, now I am.
Now you are. Okay.
Case, by the way, you had footage of me on stage at a comedy club. You know what I'm talking about when I made the audience leave?
It's the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. I didn't include it.
But do you still have it?
Yeah. I actually do have that. It's the funniest thing ever.
I want to get it from you because I want to use it for my DVD.
All right, listen, Casey, I wish you the best. You know that, and hope everything is going well. And I like this new business of yours. I like the idea of, I wouldn't know how to turn my room into a really 5-star hotel room.
Right.
And,
Howard, that's so cool, man. Thanks
a
lot for
Take care, Casey.
On, man. I apologize for this phone call.
All right, never again.
Hey, one last thing, man. Check out. Do you ever see Monica Bellucci, whatever the fuck her name is? And she has a rape scene.
Monica Bellucci, yeah.
Yeah, have you ever seen that?
There was a movie she did where her husband directed it, I think, and there's this wild rape scene. I've never seen it.
Never seen it.
It's disturbing. You have to see it. The movie's called Irreversible.
But she's hot.
She's really hot, and this guy is just beating the shit out of her for like 8 minutes.
And you liked that?
And you loved it.
No, I didn't like it. I was kind of disturbed by it. You got to see it, man. It's a good.
Let me understand your new business. Are you selling a video of Monica Bellucci being raped? I don't know. This is all right. Thanks, Casey.
Howard, I love you. Thanks.
I love you too. There he is. That's my man, KC Armstrong. Mike Walker is with us. We're going to play. Oh, wrong button. Let's see. Ready. He's not ready. No. It's 9:30. When would he be ready? Oh, you mean you're not ready? Mike's ready. He's probably sitting there. You're not ready, right? No, seriously, he's there. You're not ready.
Will usually reminds me.
Oh.
He usually doesn't have to, but...
You're so busy, you need someone to remind you.
I was working on stuff, trying to get Robin's news, because we're having a problem with that.
All right, tell me your problems later. Thanks.
It'll be in like 2 minutes.
Where's Mrs. Rogers? Usually, Will...
Mike's not ready.
He goes, Mike's not ready. Mike's ready. I still don't see...
Where is he?
Where is he, Scott? Scott,
I have to go to the other end of the building.
I'm busy. Will didn't tell me.
Usually Will reminds me that...
Scott, where do I bring up Mike? I'm hearing music.
Maybe that's Mike.
Ay vey.
So
professional. Scott!
He just yelled coming.
Scott, that's not Mike Walker. It's music.
No, I know.
What?
Engineering has to do it from the engineering room, and they're doing it. They're in the middle.
Guys, come on.
They're in the middle of doing it right now.
Come on, guys. Who do I blame here? You or Will?
Me. Blame me.
Well, what about Will? Is it his job to do this or yours? Why
It's
was
both
Will
of
brought
us.
into it?
But just blame me.
Will, are you at fault?
A little bit.
A little bit. Can you guys work out a system?
No, there's a system in place. I
could have done something interesting to the audience rather than try and set up Mike Walker.
I made a bad assumption that around 9:30 that Mike Walker that Scott knows we do Mike Walker on Thursdays.
Assume
But
Scott knows anything.
I shouldn't have assumed that.
Scott's so fucking busy, he can't be bothered.
Right.
He should be there now.
Holy cow. How long we been doing this?
A long time.
Yeah, I mean, come on, huh? It's funny, right? Is that why you're laughing?
It's not funny.
It's funny.
It's not funny.
You don't care. You don't care if you ruin my show.
Why do you say I don't care?
Because you don't care. That's why I say it. You don't care about being professional. PLJ, if they told you to get something ready, it would have been ready, or you would have been fired. So you would have had it ready.
So fire me. I mean,
Okay, you're fired.
I'm sorry that that wasn't ready, and it's ready now.
Yeah, but it doesn't. You know what it is? I'll never fire you, so it doesn't matter to you. The good guys always get fucked. It's the shitheads in radio who bust balls who get fucking stuff done. At PLJ, if Jim Kerr was on the air and he potted up Mike Walker, he'd be there. Because you'd be fucking paranoid.
I was working. Usually I get it up. I was working on another problem, and it slipped my mind. And usually there's someone to remind me.
Mind? Mm-hmm. I bet you wouldn't have slipped your mind at PLJ. I bet you wouldn't, because your job would have been gone. They would not tolerate this. But I tolerated it. Everyone's a star here, and everyone's a shticklach. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's not a shtick. I mean, I said I was sorry.
You're sorry.
I didn't want to do it on purpose. I don't want to do it on purpose.
All right. How will you avoid this
the
in
audience
future?
won't be bored with him?
How will you avoid
for 5 minutes more?
How will you? Fuck off. Now you're saying Mike.
Come on.
So now you're evaluating Mike.
Stop yelling at me.
Who should I yell at?
You got Mike Walker ready. You yelled at me now. Now you do the bit, and we'll get it over with. So it's ready.
But what did you just say? Mike's going to bore the audience. So what's the difference anyway? Is that the attitude you have?
That's my attitude. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my attitude.
So how are you going to avoid this in the future?
I'll make sure. I'm going to put a big sign up. Focus.
Yeah.
Focus.
Would that be insane to put a sign up that says today is Mike Walker and I need to have it ready? And by the way, I know how angry you get with your interns if they mess up one little thing.
No,
so I'm not such a ball buster.
That's not true. I don't yell at interns.
Okay.
Not anymore anyway.
All right. Come on. Go out and talk to Will and see if you can't make this thing happen.
It's ready.
Week.
I just told you that.
Now it's ready. Am I out of line here? Robin?
No, I mean, it was...
All right, you yelled at me and it's ready and it's done. I said I was sorry. I apologize.
So.
I was involved with something else and I should have been, up on it. And
what kills me is when you laugh about it.
I'm not laughing. I didn't think it was funny.
Laughed. You went...
No, you're funny because you're great. You're great on the air. You're funny. So
no, I'm not.
That's what I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at that I screwed it up.
I wasn't funny.
You're the funny one.
I'm not funny. I'm busy yelling. How is that funny? You've been at this game? How long you been in it?
Too long, obviously.
Yeah, I agree. Now I agree with you. Too long. Been too long at the fair.
Yeah.
You hate this job, huh? You hate me.
I love this job.
You hate me.
I don't hate you.
What is it? The green monster they call envy? Is that what it is? You look at me and go, why him, not me? What did I do? What did I do?
Why me? Why me?
Right. Why me? Why are you taking that on me? I love you.
I'm not taking it out.
Help me out here. I need you every Thursday to make sure Mike Walker's up.
I know.
That's the deal.
And
That's all I need.
doing it.
Help me out. That's all. And don't laugh and don't make disparaging remarks about Mike's segment.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
You know? The good segments, bad segments, doesn't make a difference. You got to have them ready.
Douche. Mike's not boring. I'm sorry.
No, if you think he's boring, fine, but keep it to yourself. Who cares? I like Mike.
I like Mike too.
Mike, I like you.
Thank you, Howard.
Yeah.
It's Scott the engineer.
No,
you want
I like
to
Scott.
Superstar Scott the engineer thinks we could be doing something better than you.
Well, look, I mean, I'm
Where's
already
my
started
segment?
boring people to death, and
Yeah.
I'm really sorry for that.
All right, Scott, please, I'm begging you. If you could just pay a little bit of attention to me.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All right. Fair
That was
enough.
Scott who said I'm boring?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Salem.
Yes, Mike.
With an S.
Yeah, try and get a picture of him in his bathing suit.
Who gives a fuck about Zac Efron?
See an article on me.
All right.
Well,
instead of hunting Robin in a bathing suit and me,
Yeah, try finding Scott.
get Scott the engineer in a bathing suit.
I don't think you'll find it. Oh, you?
Scott,
Yes.
Howard thinks you're not taking this seriously.
It's my intern's fault.
Whose fault is it?
I told him it was my fault.
No, wait. Why were you laughing at him? And
I wasn't laughing.
All right, to play the gossip.
he said you like snickered.
Go to
Wait, what do you want? What do you want?
What do you
Get the
have?
fuck out of
Four
here.
stories. One of them is
No,
fake. We got to pick
Scott.
up a fake story.
Why are you laughing?
Maybe I'll let
Why are you laughing?
Scott. No, but why were you laughing?
I wasn't laughing. I was just because he makes it. It's a bit. So I mean, he's angry, but it's a bit.
And
what do you want?
Why? Yeah, and you
Let
also
the fucking whole news department come in. Get Brad Driver. Get Lisa. Come on. Get High Pitch Mike. Bring them all down here. Come on.
You
Even Ralph Howard. We want him in here too.
You called Howard's bluff too.
What do you mean?
Well, you said fine, fire me, and no, but like why would you do that? Why?
Why would they say fire me?
Yeah. You feel that you're not going to get.
He apparently doesn't like what I do, so if he doesn't like it, then, you know.
So do you think maybe you're a little too comfortable?
Me? No, I'm not comfortable. I told you. All right, so if your camera is being worked on and something wrong with it, maybe you can't see me through the lens, and you're working on it, and you were supposed to shoot somebody else, but you can't because it wasn't working, right?
Right. What if you can't see him through the camera? What if you can't see it through the camera for like 20 plus years? What if that problem keeps going over and over?
Who hired you?
I'm just asking. I'm just asking a question.
Oh, you were a comedian. How did you turn into a news ass?
In all fairness,
what do you want?
I want to apologize. I'm sorry.
It's not his.
It's not fully my fault, but I do apologize. I should let you know.
I didn't throw him under the bus.
No, I know you were good about it.
Wow. So really, for once, this may not be your fault.
Well, no, we worked together.
Oh, so now you are throwing him under the bus.
No, but he just said we usually work together. I remind him if he forgets, and he reminds me. And today I was busy working on a problem with Robin's News, which my intern can attest to. Yes. It slipped my mind. Shut up! Get out! Get out!
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
Now, what brings you down to the Howard Stern show today?
Well, I've always wanted to meet Howard Stern. He's quite a great American success story. A maverick, a guy who kind of marches the beat.
Are you a fan of Howard's?
Yeah, in many ways. I really admire a lot about him. I admire his independence and his vision, and how can you not admire the great success he's had?
Exactly.
I just hope he doesn't ask me to take my shirt off.
That might happen.
I ain't doing it.
So you're here to talk about your book, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
And what's that about?
Well, it's about the story that surrounds me right now. The guy used to be the governor who's been falsely accused of things he didn't do, and I'm fighting back, and I'm getting the truth out. The book's a way to be able to do that, and it's in many ways an epic story, and it's a story that's still ongoing, with a lot of chapters yet to be written because of the false accusations and what the prosecutor and the government is attempting to do, and why they won't succeed, and why I'll be fully vindicated because the truth's on my side. And the great irony is that I was accused of things by a prosecutor who took snippets of conversations out of private tape conversations, misled the people, and in many ways mutilated the truth. And that very prosecutor went into court and prevents me from telling you what I know is on those tapes, prevents the public from hearing all those tapes, because once they hear them all, they'll see that what was said about me is not true, and they'll see a completely different reality. Some of that I write in the book.
And you feel that the Howard Stern show is a good place for you to get this off your chest, right?
I feel like the Howard Stern show is a good place to, talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but that's certainly one of them.
Great. All right, well, hang tight, and we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
So, Rod Blagojevich, who used to be the governor of Illinois, which is a big deal, had to leave office because he is now up on charges that he did something illegal. He was trying to sell a Senate seat to the highest bidder. And now he's written a book called Governor, right? Is that the name of the book? Governor. And it's in stores now, and he's agreed to come in here and say hi to us. And here is the governor. Rod Blagojevich. Who's getting him out? Who's attacking you out there? Howard 100 News? Oh, Ed Torrey. Be careful, he'll hook you up. And then, would you ever consider taking a lie detector test to get free of all charges?
Well, I have to talk to my lawyers, but I'm not averse to that. I know what the truth is, and I've done nothing wrong. And you know, whether I say it there or here in your show or in a court of law under oath, it's the same story.
Are you attracted to Howard Stern?
I'm impressed with Howard Stern. Can I sit down here?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Now, do we still call you governor? I'm going to call you governor.
You know, you can. You can also call me Rod. Or you can call me erstwhile governor.
I'll call you governor.
Okay.
Why not? Listen, you served as governor. You got elected by the people of Illinois. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment. Where'd you grow up?
In the city of Chicago, on the near northwest side, in a neighborhood probably like a lot of typical neighborhoods in a place like Brooklyn.
Were you a middle-class kind of kid, a rich kid? What category did you fall into?
Lower working class. My dad was an immigrant. He came from Eastern Europe. He fought the Nazis, spent 4 years in a prisoner of war camp, and then after that he was in a refugee camp for 3 years, waiting for the U.S. Congress to pass a law that would allow him and all these others with these long and hard-to-pronounce last names a chance to come to America. So he worked in a steel factory. My mom was a working mom. She worked for the public transportation system in Chicago.
So your parents worked? You didn't come from privilege or anything like that?
No. Grew up in a 5-room apartment, you know. But my parents sacrificed and worked hard and gave me a chance to live the American dream. And
what happened? You went to college?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Yeah. I have a degree from Northwestern in history.
Northwestern, and then you went to law school?
I went to law school. Are you ready for this?
Where?
Pepperdine in Malibu, California.
Oh, that must have been a party, huh?
You ought to see my grades.
Bad?
Well, I mean, gentleman C scholar. Barely.
Really? But you passed the bar?
Yes, of course.
Did you do it the first time?
The second time.
Second time?
Yeah.
Was that a great disappointment to you not to pass the bar the first time? It's almost like your driver's. When you hear somebody didn't pass the driver's test the first time, you go, "Oh man, I'm sorry."
Yeah, it was a great disappointment, but looking back, it was the appropriate thing. It's not like I learned anything in law school. So.
Were you a ladies' man in college?
Well, I probably shouldn't acknowledge anything like that.
Why not? Why can't you acknowledge that?
How do you define that?
Well, you're at Pepperdine. It's fun.
Yeah.
The sun. You're not exactly studying hard. You're getting a C. What were you busy doing?
I learned a lot about other parts of life that fill you out as a person.
Were you a hippie? Were you sort of like what kind of crowd did you roll with? Were you a jock? What were you in college?
Well,
just sort of like an average guy.
Yeah, in college, you know.
What was your shtick for getting laid? I'm asking. I mean, were you a drug guy? Were you,
no, I was.
You never
I
dealt pot. You never did any of that.
No, I think genuine interest in.
Ever smoke weed in college?
Well, no, I was asked that question publicly. And I've done it twice, and I remember both occasions.
Didn't like it?
Yeah, it was. You know, I run and I don't smoke, so.
Right. It destroys your lungs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not something.
I'm not a big drug guy myself. I mean, I did my thing, you know. I tried them all, and that was it.
Yeah.
And that was it. But in Pepperdine, you were drinking, I bet. A little partying.
All things in moderation.
Are you saying you were a virgin in college?
No, I'm not saying that. And everything I say is subject to being cross-examined in court of law.
You're going to go to court, and they're going to want to know, when did you get laid, and when was the first time? So were you...
I'm going to write all about that in my second book.
Did you mention, were you popular with women when you were... I'm just trying to understand background here. Were you popular with women in high school?
I dated the captain of the cheerleading team.
You dated the captain of the cheerleading?
In high school. Yes.
What was it with you?
She was sweet, and she was one of my, early loves.
How did you get her? Did you have a great gift of gab?
I guess you'd have to ask her that. Whatever it was, she was certainly willing.
You're here to tell us.
Yes.
Forget about all your other stuff.
Yeah.
That you were banging the captain of the cheerleaders in high school.
Well, I wouldn't quite phrase it like that. She was my girlfriend.
That is impressive.
I was madly in love early in life, and and I'm still madly in love with my wife now.
Well, forget your wife for now. I understand your wife, and
who may very well be listening. So I just want her to know that I'm madly in love with her.
You've never discussed with your wife your previous sexual partners?
Well, I mean, we have an open and honest relationship, so we trust each other and we love each other. We're soulmates.
How old were you when you met your wife?
I met my wife March 6, 1988, so I was, 31.
31?
Yeah.
So you were already a practicing lawyer?
I was a practicing lawyer. I was a prosecutor at the time when I met her. And I was just leaving the state's attorney's office in Cook County.
Attractive woman. I saw her on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here.
Yeah.
I thought that she was hot and devoted to you. Most women would have left, right? They would have said, there's trouble. Let's get the hell out of this thing.
You know, people say that to me. I don't know. You know, all I know is how Patty is, and she's a special person. And it never dawned on me for a moment that there would be any issues between us. In fact, this has brought us closer together.
Well, the whole deal with
there you are.
two.
Hi.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. The whole deal with them is she even, turned against her own family for you. You know, you weren't that popular with her dad, from what I understand.
Is that right? You mean to begin with?
Well, no. Her father and I had a very good relationship in the very beginning. It's a tragic story. I write about some of this in my book. He's a Chicago alderman, a ward boss, and was very helpful and instrumental in my political career early on. And
so he's a politician, a career politician. Okay.
Got angry because I shut down a landfill that he was involved in, and he made accusations that he later retracted. There were other issues, and I write about it very painfully in my book. It's a complicated relationship. There are elements of him that I really love and I miss.
So you're on the outs with your father-in-law. He won't talk to you.
No, I wouldn't say that. We spent Christmas Eve together, but it's a very difficult relationship in view of all that's happened.
So he's angry with you. His daughter's involved with you. Now it's the disgrace. So it's like all this shame and everything. It could make you go mental, right? You could crack from all this.
Well, no, it's not quite like that. No, except you know what the truth is. Now, what'll make you mental, as you say, is the injustice of the whole thing.
All right, so let's assume you're innocent. If you're innocent, and then you go into family dinners, and now the old man's like, "Hi, I told you the guy was a bum." I mean, it's got to make you crazy, right?
Makes you mashuggy.
Yeah, right.
No, it's not quite like that. It's different. He, frankly, played a role in some of the issues that I have to deal with today because I write about that in the book. Again, there's a Shakespearean element to this story. And
what did he do? Did he set you up in a way? Are you saying? You're saying your own father-in-law set you up?
I'm saying he made a false accusation. He got angry at me when I did my public duty, closed the landfill he was involved in. He got angry, accused a close associate, political fundraiser, friend of mine, of illegally raising campaign funds. And then he was threatened with a lawsuit. He retracted that, but once he did that, he unleashed the furies, and suddenly these federal investigators.
Why did you go after your father-in-law? Let's say your father-in-law does have a landfill or something. He's involved in it. Right. Why go after him? I mean, there's so many things. Like, did you want to look the other way?
Well, that's the issue. When you learn about something like that, that's the question I raise in the book. Do you do your public duty, protect the environment, make sure people have the proper permits, you follow the law?
Right.
Or do you pretend like you didn't see it? Now, it's traditional in that Chicago political environment probably to look the other way.
Did your wife tell you, listen, lay off my father?
She was caught in the middle of the whole thing. But, she was supportive. And, again, these are very serious things because, again, I'm the governor. I have this big responsibility, and I knew this was going to be a problem. But I did what I know was right. Court sustained what we did. They went back, they fixed their problem, and they continued on in their business. The problem was the accusation he made left in the wake serious allegations that began the scrutiny that my administration and a friend and some others unfortunately had to deal with.
So when you were a kid, did you fantasize about being a politician? Was this the career you wanted?
I wanted to be a baseball player.
Right, okay. So when that doesn't happen, like when you go to law school, when you went to law school, you said, hey, this is a good way for me to get into politics. I want to be the governor someday. Maybe I want to. Did you ever dream of being the president?
Well, I think anybody in politics at a level like that who gets that high. I mean, I write in the book that David Axelrod, who's Rahm Emanuel's political consultant, called me the day after President Bush beat John Kerry and suggested to me to have an open mind about running for president in 2008. His idea was a Midwestern new face, a governor. At the time, he had the governor of Iowa was a client. He was thinking about me, and he had in Barack Obama. And I write, he had the right horse in the stable, but he was kind of tilling the soil a little bit to see.
Figure it out. Yeah. I mean, this has got to be mind-blowing to you. One day you're the governor, and now you've been, I guess the way I understand it is you were wiretapped.
Right.
They listened to your phone calls, and someone said, hey, this guy is trying to sell Barack Obama's Senate seat.
Right.
And you've claimed all along that if you listen to the entire tapes, which they will not release to us, if you listen to the entire tape, it will vindicate you. And you are confident that when you go to court, they will play these tapes, and you will be vindicated. Am I correct?
I am confident that I will be vindicated. I'm certain the tapes will set me free, and I'm hopeful every tape is heard in court.
Right.
Because these prosecutors may attempt to prevent some of that. The great irony here, Howard, is you've got a prosecutor, the heavy hand of the federal government. You've dealt with the FCC, so you know what that can be like.
Yep.
And they, as I write in my book, the morning before I was arrested, I directed my chief of staff over to the telephone to work out a routine political deal. I told him to work out the tactics that would put 500,000 people to work, create health care for 50,000, 300,000 people, That was a deal I wanted. And then I wanted a written guarantee not to have a tax increase in Illinois for 2 years. Rahm Emanuel and other leading U.S. senators were helping put this deal together. The next morning at 6 a.m., I have FBI agents in my home arresting me, and then the prosecutor alleges he was stopping a crime spree before it happened. He mutilated the truth.
So you're claiming that when you say on the tape, even the little part we heard, I know I'm going to get paid for this seat, you're saying, yeah, in politics, I want the payoff. I want this, 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 and this if someone's going to get the seat. I want guarantees for the people of Illinois.
For the people of Illinois. And I don't know that I ever said anything like, I want to pay off or I want to be paid.
Right.
They made a big stink out of this phrase, this is effing gold, and I'm not giving it up for nothing.
Right.
And I know what people think when they hear that. The next line is, you know,
how much I can get.
Yeah, it is simply not that. Now, again, I'd love to tell you what comes next, but they won't let me. And I can only tell you, it ain't what they're suggesting it is. And there was never, ever an intention on my part to sell the Senate seat for money.
So is your legal strategy, give me the tapes, subpoena the tapes, and I'll play them in court, and I will be vindicated. That's the strategy, right?
Well, I think it's it's not quite as simple as that. There are other evidence and some other witnesses and all the rest. But that's essentially, you know, a lot of what this case is I think, going to be shown by those tapes.
Do you lay awake at night saying, wait a second, let's assume what you're saying is true. You're innocent.
I am.
But people go to jail all the time who are innocent. You're facing maybe 20-something years in jail, right? If this thing goes down and people just want to do, let's say they do a witch hunt on you. Let's say somehow they don't release all the tapes. I don't know what happened. Something goes wrong.
Right.
Aren't you flipping? Would you ever consider suicide if you had to go to prison for 20 years? I actually would.
Well, no, but, you know, a close friend of mine just took his life.
Right, I know.
Because the federal prosecutors were trying to get him to lie about me. He had admitted to wrongdoing on cases not involving me, dealing with contracts with the O'Hare Airport in the city of Chicago, not in my administration, and acknowledged his mistakes. And they were going to offer to significantly reduce his jail sentence if he would lie about me. He refused to do that. In the meantime, the sentence he was getting was very significant, 8 years.
Wow.
And I think maybe possibly threatened with even more. And then just the other day, he took his life and left behind 3 little girls.
So are you able to sleep at night knowing that, like, I could go to jail for 20? I mean, what's your life like now? Are you on any kind of medication? Are you? I mean, seriously? I mean, you seen a psychiatrist? Anything?
No, not at all.
Don't you need to talk to someone about this?
Well, I wrote a book and I talked to you and others, and
I'm hardly a psychiatrist.
Well, but you are a big mountaintop. And Howard, when you're an honest person and something like this has happened to you, when you've lived the American dream as I have,
yes,
okay, and this nightmare has happened, which is so un-American and not what America's supposed to be, you're still only in America. Where else can you write a book?
But come on, you cannot possibly lay awake at night. I mean, I could understand. I would be like, oh my God, I'm going to go.
Well, maybe it's because it's not imminent, because, you know, he still has a trial to go through, and maybe he still believes that eventually this is going to all be righted.
Yeah, it's scary.
It's going to be righted. Is it scary? Of course it is. And do I have those moments? I write about in the book. My little 6-year-old Annie's at her kindergarten graduation when my wife was in the jungle in Costa Rica, and I was there, and my sister-in-law Deb, who was filming it, and she's a big fan of yours, by the way, and she would love to meet you. She's actually here.
I would love to say hello.
But my little Annie was sitting there in the circle, and with all her little classmates, just so sweet and precious, and I looked at her, and of course, you know, from time to time you have a thought, and you ask yourself, you know, will I see this next year, and will I see...
Have you explained to her what went down? Do you talk to the kids about it, or are they too young?
The little one has a different perspective than our older one who just turned 13. She's a lot more aware of things. But, I mean, they both are. My wife has talked to them as the need arises, and I think they've done a real good job keeping them, you know, focused on what their lives are. And they're little kids with typically ordinary lives in most cases.
Before you got into politics, were you a very successful attorney? I mean, were you making a good living?
Yeah.
So you were a pretty wealthy guy. I mean, you worked your way up and you made some decent money. Are you completely out of dough now? I mean, are you facing bankruptcy?
No, but when I was hijacked from office, because that's what it was, I was prevented from bringing in evidence to prove my innocence. They didn't even prove any wrongdoing.
You tried to stay in office, but then they had a vote to...
Yeah, they offered me, through third parties, an offer was made to me to step aside, incapacitate till I clear my name, and get fully paid by the taxpayers.
Wow.
I turned it down, because that would be the wrong thing, because I wouldn't be working, and I didn't want to be bought off in that way. Plus, I questioned their motivations on some other things, but... You know, I lost my job suddenly. My wife worked in an organization that helped the homeless.
Right.
And then
she got canned?
She had a 1-year contract. They breached it. She's entitled legally to about $80,000, but we didn't want to sue an organization that needs every dollar it can to help the homeless. So neither one of us had any income.
Do you guys? Do you and your wife talk about this every single day now? It's consumed your life, I would assume, right? I mean, you can't have a normal life. Did a lot of your friends?
This is life.
Did a lot of your personal friends leave you? Like, have they just turned their backs on you and said we don't want to know you anymore?
Well, let me answer that, but let me just go back to, we're rebuilding our financial situation. And again, we've had opportunities that most people who've lost their jobs don't have.
Right.
I mean, I was offered a opportunity to be on a TV show in the jungle.
You would have done that, huh? I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
I would have forced myself to do it.
What kind of dough were they offering, 150?
It was good.
Give me a number.
I can't.
Give me the number.
We're prohibited from...
Right now. No, you're not.
No,
NBC
says no.
How much would ABC pay those cheap bastards? How much would they have paid you?
No, it was NBC. They were very generous.
NBC. I bet you, I'm going to take a guess and tell me if I'm in the ballpark. I'm going to say $100,000, 125.
Interesting.
And this is a primetime show that's taken up most of their time. Don't you think you could have done better than that?
Well, I'm not acknowledging that's the number. Let me simply say,
go ahead.
NBC was the network that helped Elvis on his comeback in '68.
Right.
This is the beginning of my comeback.
Is it a comeback, you think?
Yeah, I know it is.
You think if you're vindicated, you could be elected governor again?
Yes, I think I'm certain of that. But
well, you know what? There's something that hasn't
I believe in
been
comebacks.
asked here. If you are this is a frame up. If what you're saying is true, you're being framed. Who would want to frame you? Why, and what they would want, I guess, is for you to be out of office. And they have effectively done that, whether you win this case or not. So do you think is behind all this?
Yeah, who is framing you? Who are the masterminds of this?
It's a complicated thing, and I have a very strong opinion on the motivations. But I don't think it's appropriate for me to say some of that. And I don't believe it's a conspiracy between the prosecutor and political enemies of mine in Illinois. I think one thing led to another. But you have to remember, President Obama and I have some relationships that are mutual. I write about that in the book. There's a guy by the name of Tony Resco that Barack Obama knew very well. He introduced me to Obama.
Right.
He got in trouble. He did some things wrong. He was a big contributor to Democrats, me, Barack, and everybody in Illinois, the new Governor Quinn, the Madigans, who were the political people. And long story short, he's sort of a central figure in some of this drama, and you have to ask yourself whether or not, the new administration was coming in, and this prosecutor wanted to act quickly and create a dynamic that made it hard for the new president to make it, to kind of go in a different direction.
Who's the guy who gave the okay to wiretap you in the first place? Do you know?
Well, you have to go before a judge to do that.
Oh, you do? So you don't even know. But it could be the prosecutor? You don't know.
Well, no, the prosecutor seeks it, and then the judge has to approve.
Okay, I get it. All right. So now, you have enough money to live?
We're rebuilding, and we're blessed for the opportunities. We were busted right after this all happened. I didn't expect to lose my job all of a sudden.
Do you still have your house?
Yeah, and the kids still stay in the same school, which is a private school. We've been able to get back quickly. Again, unusual opportunities that most people have lost their jobs.
So you went from being a millionaire?
No, never a millionaire.
Never a millionaire?
No.
But very comfortable?
No. My legal practice was doing well.
Right.
But then these political opportunities came, and then I ran for Congress. And when I ran for Congress and won, you can't practice law. And so that was the end of my law practice.
Why can't you? Because it's impossible to hold two jobs at the same point. Congress is a full-time job, I guess, right?
That's correct.
Right.
As a state lawmaker, you can't.
You're not allowed. Right.
Yeah.
So your income takes a hit.
Right.
You put things aside, you take the whole political route, and then this whole scandal happens. And that's got to throw your whole financial world into it. So all of a sudden, celebrity, get me out of here. You got to do it.
You got to go in the jungle and eat tarantulas.
Yeah, because really, how are you going to? People think you have unlimited funds. You don't have it, right?
And then when you can't do it, your wife has to do it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the judge wouldn't allow me to go, and then Patty was willing to do it. And all I can tell you is that this is a mother who loves her children and is willing to do something like that for her kids and her family. And
I felt bad for her. She was crying a lot on it. I'm sure it was hard for you to watch. Did you watch the show?
I watched every one of them, and it was painful to watch in many ways. But it was a good experience for her, and she made friends that I think she'll keep for the rest of her life. We became very close with John, Sally, Francis and Angela, Tori Hunter, the wrestler, who, if she was on your show, I know what you'd ask her to do.
What would I ask her to do?
Take her blouse off.
Goddamn, I'm going to ask you to take your blouse off.
I was afraid you were going to do that.
And I know you're here with your sister. I'm going to have her take her blouse off, too. Why not?
Anyone who has a blouse on, it'll be off.
Everybody's
tell me you
blouse
can
is
swear
off.
on this show. Is that true?
You can.
It's too early in the morning for me to say those words, but if you listen to some of the tapes, you'll hear them.
Yeah, so you like curse words. You are a fun-loving guy, right?
I think so. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
fucking right.
Now Elliot Spitzer went down too. Do you empathize with him, or do you feel it's a whole different situation? Do you feel he is guilty of something and that he should have resigned, or do you have some sort of empathy with him?
A combination. I don't. The decision to resign was his decision.
Right.
Yes, of course, I have empathy for him, for his wife.
Should he have stayed in office?
That's a decision he would have to make. I don't know what the dynamics were.
Did you ever meet the guy?
No, I never did. But, I mean, if you were to look at his situation and look at mine, I think it's fair to say, and I know I probably shouldn't say this, he got a blowjob and I got fucked. But I'll be back. But I'll be back. I mean, and there's no dispute with regard to his behavior, but there's big dispute with regard to what
they even say Spitzer's trying now to get back. I mean, he might even consider a comeback, they said.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he'll do all right. I don't know.
I can see him trying to do that.
So the book's called Governor.
Yes.
And you wrote this right after, I guess someone approached you to write this thing, gave you a decent advance, I hope, right?
They've been fair to us and excellent. And I want to plug the publisher, Michael Wiener, who just passed away. But he took a chance on me to give me a chance to write this book. Cause
you write it with a writer, or do you just sit down and do this yourself?
I did it all by myself.
No kidding.
6 boxes of crayons, but I wrote the whole book by myself.
You wrote the whole book by yourself.
Yes.
This is in your words.
Yes.
And they'll probably take the book and use it at the trial. When is this trial going to happen? Do we know?
In June. It's scheduled for June.
Would you like it sooner than June? Would you like, because in a way you probably have it hanging over your head. Right. Why do you think it's taking so long to go to trial? Seems like a high-profile case. They could make it happen faster. Do you think they're having trouble finding evidence against you?
All those are good. Those are all good questions. They're very prudent observations by you. I don't know exactly why. That could be some of the factors. They sent us something like 3 million documents to review, which is to me just an effort by them to wear down your lawyers and
wear down your finances.
Yeah, that's right. I don't believe that's significant, though. I mean, the bottom line is, the tapes tell a big story.
What do your lawyers say to you? Are your lawyers confident they're going to get you off?
Absolutely.
They are?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Did they give you... When you sit down with a lawyer, you say, listen, give it to me straight.
Yeah.
Give me a percentage.
Yeah.
What's my odds here of winning this case? You got a 90% shot of winning it? You got a 50% chance? What's your odds?
Well, they don't talk like that. They're just saying they're all confident we're going to win. I mean, there's a complete confidence. They've heard they've seen enough evidence. Let me put it that way, because I'm prevented by this court order to talk about what's on these tapes. But we have access to those tapes. My lawyers have heard them all.
Has anyone offered you a deal?
No, but there is no deal. I'm not pleading to anything. I've done nothing wrong.
If someone came to you today and said, listen,
right,
I want you to admit guilt.
Right.
You do a year. Right. You're done with this thing.
No.
You won't do it.
No way. I have done nothing wrong. And I write in the book, again, I'm fighting for my children and their reputation and for their lives and their futures. I'm fighting for my late parents, my immigrant father and my mother who worked so hard. They didn't raise their kids to be in a situation like this and have our names sullied. We are honest people. We meet our responsibilities. I honestly fought for the people. Every child in my state gets health care. No state did that before. All of our senior citizens take free public transportation. No state does that. I insured every uninsured woman with mammograms and pap smears, routine, so that they can catch breast cancer early and have the treatment if God forbid, cancer's found. I went around the legislature to get a lot of this done because they were blocking me. And so, yeah, I did controversial things, but they were always
Robin, you
for
have
the
to
people.
love that. Robin has just been told she has a G cup.
Oh, God, help
believe
me.
it or not. So our breasts have to be checked regularly.
The governor needs to hear that.
Well, the governor likes that stuff.
Cancer can't spread that quick.
That's right.
I voted no on impeachment. Huh?
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, a record amount of money in public education without raising taxes on people. Minimum wage increases twice for low-wage workers.
Do you think you're still popular with the people?
I have my detractors, but I think I have a lot of supporters out there, too.
If you had offered free heroin, Artie would have moved to Chicago. I think that would have been it, right? You would have gone right away.
I'm looking at a court case, too. I'm not talking.
That's right. He's got to. When is your case coming up?
I don't know.
What are your lawyers saying?
What are your lawyers saying?
They're confident.
They're confident, too.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's confident. It's a great day. Everybody's going to court. Well, let me tell you something. This is
well,
some
you
story.
know what I wonder about? No. I wonder about the days when he was embattled and people were, sort of demanding that you step down, but you continued on trying to be governor. You appointed someone to the Senate seat, and you were I guess, at the State House every day trying to get things done. I mean, what was that like? That must have been a nightmare as well, because you're trying to do business and nobody wants to do business with you because you're like a lame duck at that point.
Yeah, well, you're worse than a lame duck. You're like a
pariah.
Well, almost a slain duck.
Right. No, it's embarrassing.
Well, not really. And I'll tell you why. Because I just know what the truth is on this. And my position was this. If I did something wrong, I'd have resigned. I would have never taken the deal to get paid for not doing work, but they offered that. There was a lot of reasons why they wanted to get rid of me that fast. Political reasons, policy reasons on the part of the Democrats in Illinois who wanted to raise taxes. And there was a reason why the National Democrats fought me on the Senate pick. I picked Roland Burris, an African-American former Attorney General. No African-Americans in the United States Senate in the age of Obama.
Yeah, but people thought that was sort of like a political move. Okay, I'll take this African-American guy. I'll look like a good guy, this and that. It was almost like a desperate move to put him in. People disagreed with your choice there.
Oh, there was a lot of fury, and it came from the political establishment. But you have to understand, before all this came down, and we had discussions over the telephone with different people, the National Democratic Senate leadership didn't want me to appoint an African-American to the Senate. Not because they were racist, but it was racial. They felt that whoever I picked, Jesse Jackson Jr. or Danny Davis, or some of the other African-American names, they couldn't get reelected. So they had an idea who they wanted.
Right.
And in the age of Obama, I thought that was very hypocritical in many ways. And then when all this changed, I had a duty to appoint a senator. And I felt since the first deal wouldn't happen, that I can then appoint an African-American who had been sort of a safe pick and people sort of liked him and respected him. And then he got a bad deal by the Democratic establishment in Washington. Here you have 100 senators and not one African-American. You have an African-American president, and the Democrats enjoy a majority in the United States Senate because of the African-American vote in New York, in Illinois, in Maryland, in Michigan. Those are probably Republican senators without the African-American vote, and they can't accept one man who's African-American. They come up with this flimsy excuse that it was because of the guy who sent him.
Right. You know, it's funny when you go through something like this, and I imagine psychologically it's like it's crazy. But then you start getting weird offers too. Were you offered to have a paid appearance at the Bunny Ranch, the prostitution place?
What?
Yeah. What is that all about?
You know that? Yeah. Early on, things like that were coming in, and even though I was unemployed and had no income,
right.
I respectfully declined that offer.
What did they want you to do at the Bunny Ranch? Have sex with women?
Were you going to have sex with your voters?
What was the offer? What? I don't even understand. I can understand if you were a woman, why they'd want you there. Why would they want you at the Bunny Ranch?
Yeah.
As I recall, it had something to do with judging some kind of contest.
Oh, gee.
Okay, now there's a footnote to your story.
Right.
Months go by, and I was just recently in Los Angeles and having dinner in Hollywood.
Right.
And I meet that guy. I think his name is Phil Hoff.
Dennis Hoff.
A heck of a nice guy.
Right. Very charming.
A real nice guy.
Right.
And he reminded me of the offer, and I said, "Hey, man, don't you know, just because you're in the bordello business, I was in politics. It's not like we weren't working in the same kind of field."
So they offered you a fee to come judge some sort of beauty pageant or something, and that you felt, well, maybe that won't look too good, and that's not your scene.
Yeah, that didn't get past.
You also turned down an offer to drive a race car and play outfield for a minor league baseball team. Is that true?
Yeah, that baseball one was really interesting. I thought seriously about that one. But,
that would have been good. I might have got to a game. Now, and your sister's with you. I understand she's a gay woman.
Yep.
And she is married to a woman?
Her partner's with her, Kristen Baker. Hopefully you'll meet her too.
Are you allowed to have gay marriage in Illinois?
No, but they love you because back in 1995 you were one of the first big leading advocates for gay marriage, and they love you.
Would you have approved of gay marriage in your state if it sort of was up to you? Not that it is.
I didn't support that, and my sister-in-law, God bless her, was at a gay pride parade, and on one of them she had a big sign on it, had my name on it with a big red slash through it.
Why wouldn't you support, if you have a gay sister, I assume you approve of the
very
lifestyle?
Much so. Yeah, very much.
Why not approve of gay marriage? I still don't understand why more politicians won't do it. Are they afraid of the constituency and the right wing and the religious types?
Well, it's a great question, and I've read history enough to know that, as Franklin Roosevelt used to tell Eleanor Roosevelt, she used to bombard him with memos constantly every day, and he had a rule where he finally told her, "Eleanor, I'm only reading 2 of them a day."
Right.
And she was so interested in social change and a social activist that her heart was in all the right places. But he was more practical as a politician on what could actually get done.
Right.
You can't get too far out in front where the rest of the people are. And Illinois is not quite in the same place as, let's say, Vermont or California or Hawaii
right.
on an issue like this. It's going in that direction. I think there's almost an inevitability to it.
Shouldn't our leaders take a stand on something like that, even if it's unpopular? I guess it's just they're afraid to. I mean, you have to try to bring a lot of people into the tent, so to speak, when you're a politician.
Well, look what happened to Lincoln. He got ahead of the crowd.
That's right. You got a little too far ahead of the crowd. That's right. Yeah.
They shot him in the head.
That's right.
But you can actually hurt a cause if you jump too early. I mean, if you believe in a cause like that, carefully nurturing it and moving it forward. I'll say this as the governor, I was the first governor in Illinois history to give every gay state employee domestic partnership benefits. I support civil unions, which is not that unusual for a Democrat today,
right.
but I've supported that for the longest time. And my sister-in-law and Kristen, if they were to get married, which would be a wonderful thing, I'd be just excited about obviously being
I just
there.
went to my first gay wedding, but I tell you, I love lesbians. You know that I've built a whole career out of loving
That's
lesbians.
an understandable position.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a position I took early on. I was way ahead of the pack on that.
Yeah.
Well,
I've had
listen.
discussions with other governors about that subject, I'll tell you.
Well, I've learned a couple of things.
Yes.
I've learned probably the most impressive thing about you is that you dated the prom queen.
No, she was the captain of the cheerleaders.
Captain of the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
In high school.
Yeah.
Why did you break up with her? I would think you'd stick with that.
I went away to college.
And she left you.
She sent me a Dear John letter, halfway through the year. She did.
Let me guess. She told you your penis wasn't big enough. That's what happened to me.
No.
I dated an actress when I was very young. I was head over heels in love. She told me she met a guy with a bigger penis, if you can imagine.
That's interesting. That's the character builder, though, isn't it, Howard?
It sure is.
Yeah.
When you lose someone like the head cheerleader,
yeah,
is that even a bigger disappointment than losing your office of governor? I mean, it's got to be a mind blowing.
Or does it prepare you for something?
Right.
Yeah.
Did you say, look, I know disappointment. It's not a big deal. I can get past this.
My dad used to teach me, a lot of things, more by example than by sitting down and talking. He wasn't that way. But one of the things he actually did say was, you can judge who you are not by how many times you get knocked down, but how many times you pick yourself up.
That's true.
Yeah.
Do you ever go on Facebook and try to contact her and see if she's around?
No.
Nothing like that?
It's like, no.
Do you know if she's fat now? Because that would be great.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't. Let me tell you something. I am madly in love with my wife.
No, I understand, but still, I'm in love with my wife.
Yes.
But I always go back to see old girlfriends to see if they got fat.
I heard she's enormous.
That's right. Yeah. I heard, yes. We looked her up. The cheerleader's enormous.
I'm on her Twitter page right now.
Yeah.
That's right.
She wasn't that. I don't think she had that propensity.
Right. Well, let me tell you, it's impressive resume. I mean, the sexuality of all that.
Yeah.
Now listen.
Mm-hmm.
The governor has written a book called Governor. Are you going to make any in-store appearances? Are you going to sign books, or is that too wild for you right now?
No, happy to do it.
Has anybody approached you to go do some in-store stuff?
Yeah, there's some discussions. Yep.
So you might do it?
Oh, yeah. Very much so.
Well, Howard, how are you feeling now? Are you feeling swayed?
Look, you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm a big dopey guy. I don't know the evidence. I don't have evidence in front of me. I don't know if you seem like a really great guy, nice guy to hang out with. And that's the key to being a politician, a man who can make you feel important. They said that about Bill Clinton. Walked in the room, suddenly you were the most important guy in the room. He just had that way of reaching out and making you feel included, and you don't seem full of yourself and all of that.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, I don't know the evidence.
Right.
I haven't heard any tapes. Like you yourself say, if I could hear the tape, that would be the end of this. We could end the whole controversy right now. I'm pulling for you. If you have been wronged and someone has set you up, I think it would be a travesty, and I'll be the first person to back you to get you back in office.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you're a sincere guy.
I appreciate that.
And if you go to jail, I'll forget your number. What am I going to do? Listen, what am I going to do? Well, right, Rob? What, are we going to visit him? I don't know.
I don't think we're going to go and visit, no.
You won't have
Do you
to.
want me to visit you if you go to prison? I'll come if you tell me right now you want me to visit you.
Look, you've never gone to prison.
Right.
You're not going.
Hey,
neither one of us are.
If you have to go to prison, and I hope you don't.
Neither one of us are.
But if you do go, I mean, first of all, like ex-cops always get the crap beat out of them and stuff. I mean,
what does the governor get?
Although I think they'd send you to like a minimum security kind of place. You know what I mean? I don't think they'd give you the hard time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, have you looked into that at all?
It's different. It's not county jail, and it's not a state prison. It's let's not even talk about it. It's just not going to happen.
I know, but even the guards, the strip searching, the anal cavity search, they're going to do the whole thing on you, man. They'll be, hey, look, hey, governor, I see a hemorrhoid in here. I mean, that's,
hello.
That's hello. I hear an echo in here. I mean, can you imagine?
Who else wants to look at the governor's ass?
You know what? I mean?
Yeah.
I don't mean to make light. I mean, I would be in a. I don't even think I could leave. I don't know how the hell you're smiling and able to leave the room. Even if, what if they set you up and let's say you're completely innocent, and then you get in cavity
Look, that's
searches.
the biggest fear. I mean, I don't think that far ahead. Perish the thought. You are one fucking funny guy. You know that? Let me say that. But that ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
The truth. Let me just leave you with this. I mean, I don't know how much time you have. I got all day.
Go ahead.
Here, the accuser gets up, locks me up, has me in a cell. While I'm locked in this little tiny cell, that guy gets up and says he's stopping a crime spree before it happened and alleges I was trying to sell a sentencing for financial gain, right?
Right.
I write in my book, the day before I direct my chief of staff to work out the tactics on a political deal that we've been discussing for weeks and weeks with top U.S. senators, Harry Reid, Menendez from New Jersey, my senior Senator Dick Durbin, former Speaker of the House Republicans, Denny Hastert and I spoke about the possibility of this, and a lot of other people. The long and the short of it is, somebody is lying. I'm either telling the truth or they are.
Right.
Somebody's lying. Now, the accuser doesn't want you to hear the tapes. The accused wants you to hear the tapes. This is the anti-Nixon, anti-Watergate scenario.
You say the tapes will set you free, and you're demanding the release of the tape.
I wanted those in the state Senate in January.
And they said no.
They said no. They wouldn't allow me to bring Rahm Emanuel in, who was our guy to get that deal done.
So the people who had to sit there and vote for like censure and say get you out of there,
right.
They didn't even hear the tapes. You're talking about politicians
Correct.
who didn't
They didn't hear the
tapes.
tapes. They wouldn't allow me to bring in witnesses like congressmen and senators and the president's chief of staff who was working with us on that deal.
But everyone's like sheep. They all voted against you except one person. Who was the one person who didn't vote against you?
A guy named Milton Patterson who had a stroke. I don't know, maybe that impacted him. Look, the fix was there. Yeah.
He gave you the one vote.
Yeah, I think that was the reason
he was
why
out of it that day.
The fix was in.
What a nightmare.
Right.
Well, listen, I hope you don't go to prison. I don't know what the hell it would be like for an ex-governor, I mean.
I'm for him.
Right. You like him?
I like that guy.
You're going to vote for him.
What's his name?
So, I mean, if you do go away.
Well, let me tell you something,
for 20
Howard.
years, you might. Do you think you would ever make it with a guy in order to?
No.
Never, right? You would never.
No.
If you got very lonely?
No way.
Just masturbation, right? That's it. That's yeah.
You're not that close to reunion.
Are you a physical guy? Can you fight at all?
I was a Golden Gloves boxer.
Oh, you were? Thank
Yeah.
God. All right.
Yeah.
So you can handle yourself.
What I was going to say, Howard, was
All right.
it's even hard on the people who visit you in prison. It's not even, any nice experience.
Wah.
You get searched. You go through a lot. They take everything from you. You can't bring anything in. It's a real dehumanizing experience for everybody involved.
Now, your chief of staff has said he's going to testify against you?
Allegedly, yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think he did some wrongdoing at O'Hare Airport when he was there, and I think they found that. And I think, we've looked at what he says he's admitting to, which isn't even a crime. And I write in the book he may want to get himself another lawyer. I think he's so afraid of what they're threatening him with that he's simply going to say he did something he didn't do.
Well, listen, I mean, I wish you luck with the trial, and maybe. Who knows? Is it possible this whole thing could be thrown out if the judge listens to some of the tapes and stuff, or maybe they'll just back off, or it's definitely going to go to trial?
We're preparing for trial.
You're preparing for trial,
and looking forward to the chance.
Yeah. Well, what is the procedure there? Was there a grand jury, or was there a?
That came later. After they arrested me, they had 90 days to kind of put together their evidence, and then on like the 89th or shortly before the 90-day period. They went to a grand jury.
I see.
The jury selection's everything. Go with black guys. Some of the church ladies are very tough. I'd like to see a black jury.
I think you need that Dr. Phil. He helped Oprah.
Yeah, Dr. Phil will pick the jury. He knows how to do it. Go with no bald guys. They're going to be jealous of your full head of hair. I do a lot of this profiling.
We should have you come in as a consultant.
Let me help you with that. Listen, Governor Rod Blagojevich, his book is called The Governor, and it's in stores now. Go out, take a look. It's in his own words. He wrote it himself, and he asked that you give him a chance and buy it. And it was an honor to meet you, pleasure to meet you, and I wish you the best of luck. Again, I don't know. Listen, Robin, I don't know.
If what he's saying is true, this is a travesty, and it's an injustice, and you shake when you hear of things like this happening in America.
Yeah, and
to a governor in the 5th biggest state in America.
Yeah.
This could happen to me. It could happen to anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
this
know.
This will be one of the great comeback stories in American history.
Listen,
you will see.
and if you are vindicated, I'll get behind you to get you reelected. If you don't get reelected, I'll give you a job here. I got we need a tape TV show with JD. He's overwhelmed back there.
Can I join Richard and Sal and do practical jokes?
You can do crank phone call. You can go
I
back
used to
there
have
now.
the president's phone number. We could play jokes on him.
Get the president's phone number. Come in here. Let's make a couple of phony phone calls and have a good time. But anyway, I wish you the best
Thanks
of luck. I really do. And the book is called The Governor. That's what you got to get. And I wish you all the best. All right, we'll be back right after these words.
Governor.
Yes, sir.
How'd it go in there?
Fantastic. I mean, he's a nice guy. I probably shouldn't have said some of the words I said, but then again, I said those
Like
on
what?
some of those tapes. Well, like some of those words I said, but I
Some
figured
of those sex questions, maybe, or
well, I didn't really acknowledge anything. He just sort of said it, and I just kind of mumbled some sort of evasive answer. But it was fun. He's obviously a very successful guy, and he's a lot of fun. And I can see why he's so successful. People like to listen to him. Robin's legendary, and so is the whole team.
So, do you feel like this interview might have helped you?
Well, we'll see. How they play some of that stuff, but no, it was fun to do. He was very gracious and kind. He talked about my book and gave me a chance to be able to, get some of my story out, and that's all you can ask for.
That's right. All right, so you had a good time today, right?
Had a great time. Had a great time. Want to go back in it, but we got other things to do.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John High and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
On Tuesday's wrap-up show, the great George Takei dropped by. We love when George comes on wrap-up. And he was espousing a theory that it was no coincidence that Artie Lang did not show up, because I think 4 times when George was here, Artie just didn't show. So there's a lot of talk about that, and George loves to talk about practically anything, and here's how it went.
Starting with Artie Lang not being in, and is it a coincidence that George Takei just happens to be here?
Well, I think it's very consistent now, isn't it? It's not a coincidence. It's wasn't it you that said out of the 10 Mondays, Artie's been absent 4 when I've been here.
That's right.
So
40%.
I think there's a pattern there.
Do you think he's avoiding you, George?
I'm beginning to think so. But his excuse was his being ill. And the last time I was here, which was about, 2 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
2.5 months ago. Artie looked great. He really is visibly losing weight. And he told me he was going to his therapist, and not just going to his therapist, but walking almost 20 blocks to get there. And it's all showing. So I think this claim of being sick today is genuine.
Right. So does John Hine.
So do I.
And so does Robin.
I thought Robin disagreed with you.
Well, no, she was hoping.
We're all hoping.
Yeah.
The other thing would be we're hoping he's on drugs, and we don't hope that.
No, I think George, you, Benji, and myself were the ones saying that he was sick. I said he was exhausted from a long weekend, but sick. And everyone else, I believed, disagreed. Gary, you didn't vote.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to Shuley came to me for the news, and I said, listen, Artie, if he were sitting here, would say that his track record is horrendous, and that if you go off his track record, and he did say in his book that when he told us he was sick all those times, he wasn't. So I don't know the answer to that. My feeling is I want to believe that he's just sick and tired, but his history doesn't bode well, so I'm on the fence, and I'm being a completely politically correct 50. It could be the thing.
Well, Artie has planted the seeds of doubt.
Right.
In all of us. So, he can't be upset by that. But we all hope that he's sick.
I reevaluated what I think Ralph nailed it. I think it's about the birthday.
Yeah.
I think
right.
I think he might be sick, but I think it's more a combination of extremely depressed, like Artie said before, and cannot get out of bed. And maybe he did maybe he did some drinking that ran him down, and he feels like crap.
So just didn't feel like coming into work this morning?
I think it's probably he's having physical manifestations of his depression.
See, the whole weekend thing works if we didn't have Monday off.
Yeah.
Because Monday is almost like a built-in rest day. So I could see him Yankee game Friday night, Giant game on Sunday.
Well, he
but
was
then-
in Detroit over the weekend. He did that
Yeah.
charity.
What
gig.
night was the gig, Teddy?
I think it was Saturday.
Right. So Artie's home, theoretically watching football games sometime on Sunday afternoon and hopefully relaxing. So that gives you a full day to recuperate.
Plus, he's said it. He's always mindful of the significance of these birthdays.
Well, it's not just this
And-
birthday.
Right,
This
Yeah.
Yeah, you missed this, George.
This Artie said it a couple weeks ago. He's always been extremely scared of this particular year because
His father.
this is
This is where he outlives his dad.
This
Right.
is the year he'll outlive his
Right.
where his dad passed away.
Right. So
Or his
I think
dad's
it's
accident.
It's a combination of all of these things. Sometimes sickness can happen because you think about it too much, and the combination of all that work and exhaustion, and maybe some normal drinking, and and the depression about the significance of this birthday, I think could have caused genuine illness.
Well, there's lots of speculation, of course, and I guess that question will be answered tomorrow morning if and when Artie comes in. Gary, you found that, I'm guessing, by that voicemail, right?
Yeah, I got the voicemail this morning. I was joking around with Howard. I drive, the same way in every morning, and I don't have any dead spots on the phone when the call came in. I never heard the phone ring, and then all of a sudden, beep, there was a message there, and then I listened. It was Artie. And I wonder if Artie's smart enough to know to make it go directly to voicemail, either A, because he doesn't want to talk to me, or B, because he recognizes how good his voicemails are for the show.
Paul, you're on the wrap-up show.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Good, Paul. How are you?
Good. I have a comment to George. George, I just think you're wicked, man. I love it when you're on the show. You've got such a distinguished voice that everything you say just sounds interesting, and you just want to listen.
Well, thank you. I'll keep on talking.
Wicked. Yeah, it'd be awesome if you can come on the show. As much as we love Artie, if George could get on the show even more, that'd be even awesome.
Well, I'll try to make it as often as I can. But if Artie's trying to avoid me like that, maybe I should restrain myself a little bit so we have more of Artie.
Do you think it's homophobia, anti-Asian, or just plain old sick?
I think it's plain old sick.
All right.
I want to believe that.
All right.
No, I love him. I think he really doesn't have a prejudiced bone in his body. And what was the other thing? Anti-Asian homophobia. Well,
that you guys are working on.
How
much does he owe you?
Someone who pretends to be that homophobic, I suspect. There's some, and that wonderful performance he gave coming out to me.
Think it was too good?
I thought it was very, very good. And I know he's a good actor, but good actors use what they have.
Brian in Massachusetts, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, I got a theory on why Artie's out.
Okay.
I think it's because it always seems like when the first day George is there, Artie just feels as if he doesn't need to be there. You already got somebody to kind of fill in his spot, so why should he come in? He's not sick.
Well, I disagree with that, Brian. I'll tell you why. Because there's a chemistry between George and Artie that Howard likes to talk about. He'll go, George will tell a story about the first, time he ever got blown, and then Howard will go something like, look at the look on Artie's face, and he'll bring Artie into the conversation. So I don't think Artie feels like George takes a spot. They sort of work well together.
And it's an interesting coincidence, like the amount Artie's been out when George has come. But Artie probably didn't even know George was coming in today.
That's true.
That's true.
Artie probably doesn't even know. Which makes it even stranger.
On Wednesday's wrap-up show, I was getting my balls busted about going down to Miami to Tootsie's and yelling and screaming on the stage and everything. And then Jason Kaplan comes in, who he thinks runs the place around here lately, but just shit into everybody's business. And fuck him. He shouldn't be butting into anybody's business. He should sit there with his little Mickey Mouse ears on, at his little computer, and record the shows like he's supposed to do. You guys should watch this shit and check it out, man. I'm going to ream his ass.
Now, Ronnie went down to Tootsie's, I believe it was being referred to as. But Tootsie's.
Don't start your bullshit already.
And John's just reporting.
And we heard
Tootsie's.
And
that's what Howard called it.
I don't care what Howard called it.
And we heard some tape of
That's not what it's called.
And we heard some tape of Ronnie doing his thing, which was met with a lot of criticism and a lot of advice on how Ronnie can do a better job. Now, before you say anything, Ronnie, Gary, you used to do, and I don't know if you still do these types of appearances What's sort of the plan when you're doing that?
Listen, I don't do these as much anymore. Ronnie and I have done a bunch together. My feeling about this has always been, and Ronnie will admit to this too, when you're at a strip club and they announce you to come out on stage, Ronnie sometimes goes like, what are we going to do? Like, no, guys do not want to see us. You know what I mean? They're there to do their thing. So my thing, and Howard has goofed on me in the past saying, hey, who's paying to see you do this? You know, you don't give them anything. But in that instance, I'm get off and get on. Hey, how you doing? I'm Gary from the Howard Stern Show, heard on Sirius XM Radio. Want to thank everybody coming out tonight. We got a lot of hot chicks, so let's bring them all out. And I'm done. 15 seconds, I'm off the stage.
So what did Ronnie do wrong, if anything?
Well, Ronnie's trying to get a bunch of guys hyped up that don't necessarily want to be hyped up, and that I don't know that a talented comedian is going to get those guys. In other words, if you've been sitting in a club for an hour, right, and you can't adjust your eyes because there's been a hot chick draped over your face for an hour, what is Ronnie going to do to make you stop doing that?
Well, Ronnie, you bring a ton of energy to it, but is that the challenge, what Gary's talking about?
It's no challenge, John. It's one. It was, first of all, it was almost 2 a.m. Everybody was drunk off their ass.
Okay.
So whatever happens, happens. I mean, I was loaded.
That's excuse for going with?
Yeah.
emceeing while intoxicated?
Exactly.
So you were having a good time.
Just having a good time.
And you tried to have everybody else sort of enjoying the good time.
Yeah, a little energy in the room,
Yeah, I've heard, the toughest one that I've ever been involved with just happened to be with Ronnie. We were out in Vegas, and they wanted Ronnie to auction off this robe for kids dying of cancer. So Ronnie, we're in this
at
club,
a strip club.
At a strip club.
Yeah.
So not only are we interrupting guys in the middle of dances, and this is early in the night, but Ronnie even goes, I don't know how. They're insisting I do this, and he's like, Ronnie's holding up this robe, and he goes, "Come on, this kid's dying of fucking cancer."
Now, do you feel like you're sort of expert at this now? You've done it.
No, I don't feel
times.
expert. What do you mean expert?
I mean,
there's nothing to be an expert of doing something at a strip club.
So what's your strategy? What's your game plan going in?
Just to go out and have fun.
That's it?
I had fun. I was having a good time.
And if you're having fun?
Everybody should be having fun if I'm having fun, man.
So what do you...
It's all about meeting guys and girls,
So what do you think of when Howard and Robin start sort of critiquing you and you're saying, too much?
I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Do you think Ronnie could learn from what Howard and Robin are offering when they're listening back?
You're going to have to fill me in on that one because I was talking to Chris Russo the whole time. What were they offering?
Well, they played, and Benji, you can help me here. They played Ronnie's tape back at Tootsie's and he said, way too much. Sort of what you were saying, like get to the girls, don't, and what's Ronnie basically doing up there? What criticism do you think they gave him?
Well, I was just wondering, will you do the same act at the 4-year
not an act.
anniversary?
Dude, hello. It's not an act. I was just out there having a good time.
So
it's not an act.
All right. Well,
I'm not putting together an act, okay?
But
will you do the same thing at the 4-year anniversary? Is there something else planned for the 4-year anniversary?
Tootsie's Miami is a whole different place than Rick's Cabaret in New York.
So then what will you be saying there? We'd be saying like, 4 years.
No. I'll just go up there and say, hey, it's, welcome to Rick's Cabaret.
So you do tailor it to the specific event.
Exactly.
It's
more corporate there than it is in Miami, okay?
You ever think about going to Richard and Sal and say, hey, why don't you write me a funny line? I've done that with them. I say, hey, give me a couple of lines.
No, I don't want them to do anything for me.
Really?
No, I'd rather do it myself.
Right. But you're not mad at them.
No, I'm just saying I don't need them.
But you're also saying you don't have any game plan going in. You just have a good time and whatever comes out, comes out.
And then, I talk with the DJ dude and, we figure out some little stupid thing like throwing out T-shirts. It's like they don't want any big deal. They don't want to put an act out there. They don't want a comedy show. Just go out there and yell at the crowd. They don't care.
you could crack a joke or two when you get up there. Gives you a little bit of goodwill to go another 30 or 40 seconds, and then you're off.
They don't want to hear jokes. They don't want to hear jokes there. Believe me.
You know your audience.
They don't want to hear jokes.
Now, what about the dancing act that followed you down to Tootsie's? She seemed to have a good time as well.
What dancing act?
Didn't somebody call
Jada
DeVille, the porn chick? You call that a dancing act?
I don't know. What would you call it?
She's standing on the head of my balls. That's a dancing act? She's talented. Let's put it that way.
Dan in Philly, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Okay, I just want to say, Ronnie, you're a smacked ass. That act you do is really fucking dumb. And it is an act. You put on this persona, and so then you act like you're the fucking Ricky Man, and you're all that. You're just an old, decrepit little fuck, man.
Yeah, well, fuck you, asshole. You're not there. You weren't even there. Were you there?
That's all you got?
Were you there, moron?
I could pay answer it. You're
Yeah,
fucking
you
old
can
ass
pick
up on the stage
nothing.
instead of girls.
You're an idiot that calls into a radio show. You got nothing else to do.
Well, I'm not making a fool out of myself.
Yeah, you are by calling into a radio show. Go work. Go get a job, will you?
Do it, Ronnie.
What do you do?
Your mother, that's what I do.
Oh, wow. Where did you learn that, in high school?
Yep.
Hey, Ronnie, you mentioned that you were loaded. Did you say you were loaded before you got up on stage this time? And I know I saw you at it was Scores at the time in Vegas when you did your bathrobe act.
Right.
And
it wasn't my bathrobe act. They asked me to auction off a fucking goddamn robe.
Your bathrobe bit. And you were loaded. You were definitely loaded at that one. So I guess my question is, have you ever considered going up sober?
No.
And maybe being a little bit more coherent.
No, why? What are you, my agent now?
Well, I'm just saying that this appearance seems to be a universal
Dude,
failure.
it's a strip club, you stupid ass wipe.
Does it scare you to do your act sober?
What act? Stop saying it's an act. It's not a fucking act.
Yeah, a lot of people are accusing Ronnie, including the caller, of putting on some kind of act.
It's not an act.
Well, or your routine. Does it scare you to do your routine sober?
It's not a bit. I just go out there. If I'm drunk, I'm drunk. If I'm not, I'm not. It's not. I don't plan it. That's what I'm saying. It's not planned.
Well, maybe it should be planned.
No, dude,
that's what I'm saying.
So that was all ad-libbed and spontaneous?
They don't want you to plan an act.
How do you know? Did you have like a cheat sheet?
Yeah, I had a cheat sheet.
How do you know they don't want you to plan anything?
Because I talk to these people ahead of time.
Well, what do they say? What's sort of the pregame meeting?
Just come, have a good time.
Say yeah.
Come, have a good time. We'll call you up on stage, say hello to the crowd, throw out some T-shirts, and that's it. That's what I did. That's what I do.
See, I've done appearances like this where it gets weird for me because my feeling is the club really only wants the plugs that I'm going to be there. Then when I get there, I feel like sometimes I've been in positions where I feel like they don't even really want me to talk.
You've already done your job.
I've already done my job. They're like, yeah, go up and get out. And it's always a creepy feeling.
Yeah, Gary, I've seen you at the strip club, dude. And you don't have an act either. Like, you don't go up and tell jokes or anything. But I will tell you, I saw you at Frank's Chicken House or something one time, and it does go exactly like you described. You hopped up on stage. They had a really long, like, runway stage.
Oh, that was Al's Diamond Cabaret.
All right, Al's Diamond Cabaret. And you walk down the runway, and you're like, hey, it's Baba Booey, and everyone recognizes Baba Booey, so they clap. And then you go, hey, we got lots of hot chicks here. Jenna Hayes or whoever was dancing, that feature dancing. I'll be here all night. You get off stage, and then that's it. But I mean, I still think you could add more to that if you wanted.
I could, but I try not to because nobody wants. What are you going to start telling jokes at the strip club?
But my point is, Ronnie, just because they're not asking for more doesn't mean you can't go a little. People are paying you to do an event. I don't think they mean for you to get loaded and scream.
No, they do
incoherently on stage.
Because like 2 hours before this, telling me to sit down and do shots with them.
All right.
And by the way, mind your business.
Your business is on the radio.
You're not my business.
This is my business.
No, it's not.
You're talking about it on the wrap-up show.
Dude, you think you know everything about everybody's life and critique everybody's life.
You said you were drunk. I suggested stay sober.
Who the fuck are you to critique anybody?
Who's anybody here to critique anybody?
Sit at your desk like I tell you all the time with your Mickey Mouse ears on and leave me alone.
I'm professional enough that if someone hires me for a job, I don't get drunk.
Do I bother you? I don't bother you, man. Stay away from me and leave me alone.
Do your bald guy jokes.
Jesus
you get on the
Christ, man.
I'm just saying, maybe
everybody
getting loaded.
Has the same comment about you that you think you know everything.
I do think I know everything.
And you're in everybody's fucking business, man. What is it with you?
Ronnie, you brought the business to the air. I'm discussing what was just discussed on the wrap-up show. You brought the business
out. Nobody asked you to come in and talk about me. Nobody asked you.
I asked myself. No, I'm here to talk about you.
That's the problem.
All I heard was that you get drunk at people hire you for shit and you get loaded.
Dude,
you get loaded.
Go back to your office because you don't belong here during this conversation. Nobody asked you to come in.
Can you sit up? I can't see you over
Goodbye. So long.
It's a very high
counter here. It's been nice seeing you.
here.
Thanks for the comments, okay? I'll take it all into consideration.
Is this your act or have to wait till you get loaded and yell at me?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I'm loaded now.
Yeah. You might be. I don't know. That's apparently how you do your job.
I just had 10 shots.
People fly you out to Vegas and then you repay them by getting loaded before you even take the stage.
That's right. Yeah. Well,
hey, it's Ronnie. I'm drunk.
I guess you must be jealous. You don't get paid that big money to do it, huh?
I wish somebody would pay me to drink.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe come up with an act. Maybe
Ronnie the Pro. Maybe I'll tell you what. Why don't you find a strip club that isn't owned by your friend, and then maybe you'll see which strip club hires you.
Believe me, I've been called by other strip clubs. I don't do other.
Would you franchise your act like Gallagher?
I don't do other strip clubs. Okay, I've been called by other strip clubs.
Yo, it's Ronnie TLD. What's up? I'm drunk.
That's right.
You mean like Mun too?
Are you done, Jason?
This side of
Are
the
you done?
Mississippi, that side.
Are
of
you
the...
done now?
Nah.
Go worry about somebody else's business now.
Well, we're talking about your business.
Well, no, nobody
You
asked
jumped on the air with Pete's business this morning. Now I'm in your business.
Nobody asked you to come in and talk about my business.
Nobody asked anybody to come in here and talk about anything.
Whatever, dude.
Jason, are you jealous of Ronnie's success in this business?
I'd say, I never thought about it, but yeah, I wish somebody would hire me to do strip clubs. Yeah, hell yeah. I thought, sure, absolutely.
Who else here would you say, Ronnie, is jealous of you having these sorts of gigs? And
Nobody. Who? What is? Where is this coming from?
I just asked Jason. He had said he was.
Well, maybe I don't know.
I would
don't
say
care.
everyone is. I mean, it's a great gig. I'm sure it pays well, and
It does
I'm sure
pay
you have a lot of
very
fun.
well.
I don't go around angry at Ronnie,
It
but
pays very well, and Rick's has been real good to me.
if you ask me,
so were
yeah, I'd love to
Scores.
get hired for a job like
When I
that.
worked
That'd be
for
awesome.
Scores, they were good
And it
too.
pays off for them. I mean, you do a good job. It gets on the
And listen, if Rick's Tootsies you hire me, I'll only get stoned. I will not get drunk, and I will do a
Very
fucking
good.
awesome job.
Yeah, okay. That's great. I'm glad to hear that.
Thank you for throwing your
Thanks
hat in
for
the ring
coming in,
there,
Jason.
Chase.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
Greg in Toronto, you're on the wrap-up show.
Yeah, hi. I actually own a strip club up here. I'd like to hire Ronnie to stay the fuck away from my club.
Hey, I'm Pete the Intern. On Thursday's wrap-up show, we'll deal with the fact that I was in the studio talking about my Tourette's, and as well as having problems getting a date. So check it out.
Pete had a second big day in the studio today, Will.
Yes, he did.
And it was all about his dating preferences. Now, were you surprised at where Pete decided to draw the line when it came to who he'd be willing to date?
Well, I appreciated that he kept his options open. You know, he was willing to date almost anybody. What was it? Dead people, dead women, and AIDS patients?
Dead women, there was an AIDS patient there.
What else?
There was a cancer patient.
You said you'd do the cancer patient. Or dated cancer patient, right?
Yeah, the AIDS, I thought, was what you said no to. Pete.
Actually, the AIDS patient I said no to.
Yeah, right. That and a dead girl. But everything else was fair game, right?
Right. Everything